Welcome back, everybody, to ProBots. Welcome to our lovely little tournament here. We have an exciting day of games lined up for you. And we are also joined by the one and only, the amazing botcaster himself, Laughing Games. You have been casting bots for quite some time now. When did you first start getting into the bot casting?
Oh, that's putting me on the spot there. Hello.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I've been casting bots I cast all the Alpha Star games, and then I
Okay.
naturally transitioned into the ProBot scene and the AI tournaments and stuff like that. So I want to say that was probably like 2 years ago. So yeah, I've been doing bots for about 2 years.
Awesome. Well, definitely go check out his channel. He has a good YouTube channel. You can get more bot content there. But right now, you're about to get some awesome bot content yourselves here on ProBots. Make sure you do check out our website right below me if you want to help support us. But here is our bracket for tonight. Here is tonight's game. So last week, we had our first 4 eliminations. 4 bots got tossed into the scrap pile, and now we are coming back to all 4 groups, actually. So this is groups A, B, C, and D. This is the upper bracket match, essentially. And this will secure our first bots into the round of 8. So we're going from this group stage format into a traditional round of 8 bracket. And we're also going to open up our fantasy bracket at that point. So make sure you all check that out. Come join our Discord. We'll have links for that in the chat and stuff. Play along. Should be a lot of fun. Are you a fantasy bracket kind of guy? Would you do it for ProBots?
For ProBots, I think I would. I don't know how correct I'd be. I'd probably just
don't worry about that. We're all always very, very
I'd
wrong.
just choose the bots I like the most and hope they do well.
Good. That's a good way to go about it. That's how we do our poll tonight. You'll actually see a poll in just a little bit. Which bot do you want to win? So let us know who your favorite is. We just like to know who the crowd favorite is at the time. It's kind of what the mood is. Anyway, we're going to get things rolling here momentarily. Like I said, check out that website below me if you want extra ProBots content. We have a fun little show called PostBots that will be tomorrow night. And we're actually going to have creator of an AI casting thingy. I don't even know what to call it fully, but it's really cool. Definitely come check it out. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, probably. But yeah, I think I did it all. I think I got all the plugs for now. Let's go ahead and get things started. I'm excited about these AI-driven StarCraft 2 battles. So make sure you all subscribe and follow if you are also excited. Make sure you hit that little thumbs up button to get us a little more visibility on the YouTubes. We appreciate it. All right. Now you know Eris. I'm sure most people know Eris.
I do know Eris. Yeah, one of the more casted bots on my channel at least, and really carrying the Zerg bot torch as being like one of the better Zerg bots. That's for sure.
Oh, he's a beast. Eris is top of the AI Arena ladder. Definitely go check out that website as well, aiarena.net. That is where all these bots come from. And there's a lot of really good bots there. And if you're a new author, you can actually get on there yourself. I'll talk about that a little bit more. But here's Tyr. This will be Eris's opponent. Now, Tyr has done a lot of different things. I don't know how familiar you are with Tyr, but Tyr's done Protoss for a long time. Tyr's been around since pretty much the beginning of ProBots and has done a lot of really cool things and has recently switched into Terran after a little stint in random. So this is Tyr's Terran bot that we are seeing this season, and it's starting off pretty well. I'm excited to see what it has in store for us. It seems to do a little bit more of a standard build these days, as opposed to some of the cheesier things that we're used to seeing the Protoss tier do in the past, but it's still a lot of fun to watch either way. And what do we got? 15 seconds. Oh, we're out of time. Anything you want to say before we hop into this match here? You ready?
Nothing off the top of my head. I'm just excited to see these bots go at it. Tyr is a bot that I'm definitely a big fan of, and I didn't know it had switched to Terran actually. So
yeah, that's a little bit newer, and they're actually a team. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but let's go ahead and hop into our first best of 3 here on ProBots Day 5.
Team Eris's.
Eris.
Tyr and Gertians.
Tyr. All right, get your votes in, everybody. Who do you want to win in the chat? Let us know. Who do you want to win? Laughing Games. You can play favorites here. We're totally cool with that.
I mean, I'm long past the point of pretending I don't play favorites, so I'll say I really did enjoy the games I've cast of Tyr already. So
They're fun.
I want to say Tyr. Here's who I'm cheering for.
Well, and you can it's always fun to root for the underdog. I know it's weird to say about Tyr in most senses, but pretty much anybody against Eris at this moment in time is the underdog, I would say.
Oh,
Eris is the bot to beat. Now, we have received updates. That is actually something very important to keep in mind that we haven't talked about much yet. I believe this was an update week, was it not? Correct me if I'm wrong, I reckon, but these bots should be coming at this with something new, maybe some new strategies specifically tailored for their opponents. They do have that option here, especially Tyr had the option because he knew that he was going to be up against Eris for a couple weeks now. So there definitely could be something specific we're going to see. Maybe try to snipe what Eris is doing, but I don't know. We'll see. Eris is going to be just hard to beat no matter what. It's going to be fun to see if Tyr can do it.
Okay, so the bots get updated.
They do. They get two updates throughout the tournament. So they get one for this round, and then they'll get one more for the round of 8, and then that's it. That final update has to carry them all the way through to the end of the tournament. So we'll have one more update after this round.
Okay,
a couple rounds now.
That's a lot of prioritization these guys got to do when they're programming.
Yeah, we definitely put them to the grindstone here in ProBots, and we appreciate all your hard efforts, all you bot authors, by the way. Don't think it goes unnoticed, because we love what you guys have been putting into these bots. Every season, these bots get more and more advanced. They're just
they do, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
If you go back and watch some of the older bots, it's night and day how how good these bots are.
Well, they almost feel more human in a sense, right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, a little unnaturally human in a lot of scenarios, but it feels a little bit more like, oh, they're trying to conserve units. They're trying to, like, they have a strategy or something.
Definitely,
like they're putting thought behind it.
They're so well rounded. Like, there's not a lot of strategies you can throw at these bots that they won't have any response to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pretty much everything's been thought of at this point.
A lot of things like the worker rush, cannon rush, things like that.
Yeah,
for sure. That's a good point. All right, well, let's see what we've got going on here. We are on dragon scales, by the way, in case y'all didn't notice. Very standard opening out of both these bots. 2 bases for Eris. I figured Eris would have a third by about now. I imagine it's going to come up soon here. But actually gets the lair pretty quickly. Gets a 2-base lair. Interesting. What can you do with that? Lurkers? Mutas? What is Eris? I haven't seen many Eris games recently, actually. Do you know what Eris has been up to recently?
I'm trying to think. I've seen
Infestor.
Airfuse ZVZs. We already know now. It's going to be a Nidus Worm, so...
Well, there we go.
Really cool.
I don't think I've seen Eris do this.
I don't think I have seen a bot Nidus Worm before, to be 100%.
Oh, you haven't? We've had a couple bots do it here. Was it Paul? Oh, geez, I'm going to totally draw a blank here. There were a couple Zerg bots that we had to do some Nidus shenanigans. It wasn't really that successful. I think maybe there was one game that it worked. Yeah, it was Paul. Okay.
Well, there you go. Host. There we go.
Oh, wow. We talked about this a little while back about how a bot could really abuse this strategy.
Oh,
because
of unlimited APM with it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. You know how much work it is to try to manage 2 different fronts or 3 different fronts of units while doing your economy back out. The bots don't have to worry about that. So they can keep up that pressure perfectly. They won't ever miss a wave of locusts. Assuming they're programmed correctly. All right. So we'll see how this works out. I like the strategy. It's very aggressive. So yeah, it was Paul, one of the authors of Eris. We didn't talk about that. Tonight is the night of team authors, by the way. We have 4 bots who have a team working very diligently on them. And Eris and Tyr are both bots. Oh, this Raven, the turret gets a little damage, but no, it's not going to Is it going to clean this up? I think the Ghost might be able to clean this up.
Yeah, Ghosts deal quite a bit of damage to Locust, and the Snipes do take out a couple of them, so...
That was nice,
pretty big deal, but are more Swarm Hosts going to come out of here before that Nidus gets killed?
I don't think so. I think Eris is going to fall back and regroup, and yeah, it realizes that something's amiss there and doesn't want to send it through. There is still a good amount of Swarm Hearse, though. Now, this is really interesting because Eris doesn't typically do these really aggressive, almost cheesy strategies. At least I haven't seen any of it yet. So this is pretty cool. Oh, the Banshee's going to be able to clean this up for sure, though.
It's definitely an opening. However, Tyr with the Raven and the Banshee is actually dealing with this incredibly well.
It's like this is like a perfect counter to the Swarm Host build. I wonder if Tyr knew this was coming, because again, these bots do face each other on the ladder, on the AI Arena ladder, consistently. So they are ever evolving, ever changing their strategies based on what's going on.
Yeah,
wow, the Locust actually got in there.
Oh wow, the snipes on the Swarm Host. Yeah, that is ridiculously effective.
Yeah, I never. One snipe kills a Swarm Host. I just haven't seen that in a long time, I guess.
Eris could have potentially dodged those by diving into the Nidus, but there wasn't such a play there, so... Yeah, really good counter by Tyr.
All right, well, this is shaping up nicely. Oh, I forgot, I need to look at the notes here, see what these, see if we got any update notes. Yeah, here we go. A new build for Tyr, which tries to slow down the economy by harassing with Hellions. Well, we haven't seen that just yet because the Locust pressure has been a little insane.
They've been a little busy, yeah.
But we might see an attack here really soon out of Tyr. He's got a nice army, especially one to deal with the Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, it does have to deal with those Swarm Hosts first. Cleaning up that other Nidus Swarm as Eris reattempts that. But Locusts are getting in towards the natural base.
Yeah, they might get some worker kills here.
Yeah, no retreat on the workers by Tyr from these Locusts. Just continuing business as usual, replacing the ones in the gas that died. But the Banshees are going to clean these up and chase those away.
Workers are replaceable. It's the Terran motto, right? Or something like that. Yeah, these Swarm Hosts are just going to get kind of decimated by these Banshees. This did a little bit of damage, but I don't think it worked out as well as Eris was really hoping for.
Yeah, the behavior from Tyr of chasing down these Swarm Hosts is really, really good. That Raven is really staying on top of them as they burrow for the most part.
Yeah, that's good. You got to hunt them down. You got to stay on top of those.
Oh yeah, if you don't, I mean, they'll tear you to pieces over time.
Well, they're still getting some damage done there. Still doing a little bit of tearing here. A little bit of tearing, but
well done.
That was a bad joke. That was bad. All right, well, things are pretty stable, honestly, for both bots. While it looks kind of good for Tyr because he's holding a lot of this, Eris hasn't taken any damage, really.
No, not at all.
Economically, so.
It's kind of just throwing out Swarm Hosts and Nidus Swarms, keeping Tyr busy. We'll see if Tyr's eventually going to be able to clean this up and get any counter damage done.
I think we're almost going to get to the point where Tyr will be able to counterattack once there's just a big enough little force here, because there's, at least at the moment, nothing to overwhelm this. Actually, a big swell of Zerglings could easily overwhelm this. Now that I say that. Oh, there's no speed, really? That would be an interesting slip-up from Eris.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because it's dumping all its gas into Swarm Host and not getting that 100 count.
That might still be enough. That's a lot of Zerglings.
I think the Ghosts have got this, and they're gonna destroy those.
Yeah, I always forget how much health Ghosts have. They're tanky. Especially with Medvacs healing them, they can really take a lot of Zergling damage.
Yeah,
if you get picked up here. Yeah, it gets a little split up. The army gets a little split up there. Yeah, this is going to get cleaned up eventually. There's enough Zerglings and whatnot coming out that this will ultimately get pushed back.
Yeah, the Ghost trying to micro on creep against the Zerglings doesn't tend to go too well.
Yeah, the unit cohesion for Tyr there kind of fell apart, didn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
They just kind of got a little spread out. The Zerglings were able to get the reinforcements. And, but there are still a lot of Banshees. That's good.
Yeah, there is still a lot of Banshees, and they will kill an unlimited number of Swarm Hosts.
You're getting a little bit distracted by the Locust, though. You really want them to hunt, like you said, hunt down and target down those Swarm Hosts. And now he's going to be able to get them now that the Locusts are cleared up. So, all right, this is actually really way more even than I kind of thought it would be. This has been a scrappy game out of both these bots so far, but it's really even supply. Decent army supply for Tier to be able to hold on to with what Eris is doing, but there's a Baneling nest, pathogen glands, a lot of really scary things for the Zerg coming down right now. Do you think Tier is going to be able to hold off this next tech wave that's coming through for Eris?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Eris really is getting up that strong economy, so it's just going to be able to pump out more and more units. As far as the compositions go, like, in theory, ghosts are the best unit that a Terran can make, but
I love ghosts.
Whether
Ghosts
Tier will micro them correctly against whatever Eris is going for remains to be seen.
That's one thing I wish we would see out of one of you Terran bot authors. Just a mass ghost build. They are so tanky. Yeah, there's obviously some really hard counters to that, but you know, you get a lot of snipes going, especially against Zerg. You can snipe just about everything in the Zerg army. I think a mass ghost build would be fun with a lot of medevacs, nukes raining everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Tier's kind of heading towards that. I don't know about the nukes. That would be something to see for sure.
I think we've had a couple instances of nukes approach. Not very many, maybe like one. It's really hard to pull off, especially for a bot, because, oh, here you go, the Zergling's actually going to come in and get a lot of damage. The Hellbats...
They are, yeah. These ghosts, I feel, aren't microing as effectively as they could be. At least Tier has got Hellbats in its composition instead of just Hellions now.
That saved him, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do a lot better, but it's still really going on to creep here.
Yeah, look at those Hellbats go. That Blue Flame doing a lot, but oh, so many Banelings. Let's see if the ghosts... Oh, nope, they're not. Yeah, I was going to say, let's see if the ghost splits are good enough, but they weren't.
A little bit less than perfect, but the tanks are tanking.
Cleaned up.
It's kind of a wash, that trade. The Vikings are now hunting Overlords in the main base. Nothing really to counter them until those Hydralisks pop out.
That's true. Actually, yeah, Tier getting some damage done on the other side. That's actually really good. If he could supply block Eris, that would be huge. Yeah, that would really help him come back. Hellions are going to try to kite, but the Zerglings finally have speed. And they will catch up just fine to those Hellions on the creep. And they're going to get these tanks. No liftoffs. We do see a lot of bots these days using the medvacs and warp prisms pretty effectively to lift, but no lifts here at a Tier. So those tanks are all going to go down. And this is just getting scrappier and scrappier as we go. And there's the supply block. Oh my gosh.
Yep, and Tier is getting ahead in supply now. Eris wasn't able to fully remax after that first fight we had, despite the high income. It's just been non-stop trading.
Yeah, you were right. Till the Hydras popped out, there was just nothing to stop these Vikings. Finally, there's enough anti-air. They're going to be able to push us back. It wasn't a huge supply block, but against Eris, that is a pretty big deal to be able to pull that off. That buys you a bit of valuable time, I would say, to kind of reestablish and at least get up an army that you can, you know, stand and fight with, which Tier has over 100 army supply right now. I think you could maybe push across and start putting the herd onto one of Eris' bases or something.
Yeah, it really is pushing across that Raven that's been alive all game. There is a big fungal on the Medivacs and quite a nice concave for
well, those Medivacs are
coming in here, but the tanks are getting a good amount of damage done. The ghosts are still alive.
Those fungals! Oh, it only killed one Medivac. Those Medivacs are living so dangerously. Big explosions, but the ghosts weather the storm with the Medivac help. And what looks a little sloppy at the start for Tier is actually going to culminate in a decent little position here. He's got a good choke point where the Zerglings aren't going to be able to get any kind of decent surround. We'll see if Eris can keep streaming enough units in to keep the pressure on, but he's dropping in supply. Eris is in a little bit of trouble here. I don't see that often.
Yeah, in a lot of trouble, actually. The Medivacs are healing up all the ghosts for Tier, so more value is going to be gotten out of them. And Tier's almost maxed. Eris is dropping in supply and just bleeding out units.
He is busted through the front line. Tier is doing the damage. More Overlords taking some hits and just some straggling bits of Zerglings. I think that's it. I think Tier has secured enough of a position that Eris just can't group enough together to be able to deal with this. It's just Zerglings on the production tab, and there's Hellions, tanks, ghosts, all grouped up together. Zerglings alone, even with adrenal glands, is not going to cut it. Even if they had that.
Unless there's some sort of major glitch from Tier here, I think he's got it in the bag.
Wow, Tyr coming in hot. He wants to move on to that round of 8 right now and secure spot. Now, there is, again, a chance for both of these bots to get into that round of 8. This just is the first, first advancement. It's nice to get that and know that you're secure and safe and moving on into that round. Nicely done. Yeah, that's going to be it. Wow.
Yeah, the team working on Tyr has definitely done their work, that's for sure.
Yes, that is, by the way, Tyr and Gertian. And I'm sure baby Tyr is there helping, learning how to code, right, Tyr? Tyr just had a baby a year or 2 ago.
Wow, and still finding time to program.
And still finding time to program a bot. Well, that's why he had to get Gertian's help. Yeah, you had to get a little bit of extra assistance there. Yeah, that's it. We'll probably fast forward here and finish the cleanup. We're gonna clean up the Zerg and wipe this planet of the infestation.
Yeah, Eris has been trying to get off some fungal growths, but it's just not meant to be.
Yeah, there was a couple of pretty nasty fungals, but it didn't ultimately do enough in the end because there was nothing to follow up with it, right? You fungled, and then there was just nothing that died because there was not enough Zerglings, not enough Hydras, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. What does beat Ghost Tank and Hellbat?
I mean, I think just like a different form of early aggression from Eris, because like Ghost Tank takes so long to build up, and I definitely have games that bots going Ghost Tank just died because they just took too much damage early on. The Swarm Host really didn't get anything done of significance to Tyr. And so,
yeah, it kept him busy, but didn't do too much worker damage. Didn't stop any infrastructure.
Yeah, some more direct aggression, I think, would really benefit Eris here.
Yeah, that is one of those unit compositions that's almost unbeatable once the bot gets to it. Just that mass. It's almost like a death ball. Just that mass tank ghost.
GG.
Hellbat. GG. Tyr's gonna take game number 1. But don't worry, this is a best of 3. Eris has plenty of chance to come back. And yeah, Team Eris, by the way, Rasper and I Don't Code This. I believe he formerly known as Paul, the artist formerly known as Paul. But yeah, a couple of team groups. And then what is our other? We've got Micro Machine tonight, and Xena is our other bot that has a team working on. We'll talk about both of them later because they're coming up after the break. Oh no, we'll see Xena before the break, then Micro Machine after the break. But let's go ahead and get... Oh, I thought the timer was at 0. I'm jumping the gun, laughing games. I thought we were ready. All right, I'm just so excited. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully you're excited too. This is our first best of 3 of the night, so yeah, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Get more people in here. Get us some visibility on YouTube, and tell your friends.
Yeah, share the stream wherever you can. If your friend asks what you're doing tonight, let them know you're watching some bots fighting each other.
Watching the future of StarCraft. The bots are going to take over everything. AI's taking over voice acting. We're going to soon have AI doing
that plays StarCraft if you think they could beat these bots.
We're going to find out, actually. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and hop into this game. Game number 2 here between Tyr and Eris. Let's go.
Team Eris's.
Eris.
Tyr and Gertians.
Tyr. All right, so it's funny you should mention trying to beat these bots. You can actually download an application on your computer to play against a good handful of these bots, Eris and Tyr included. I believe there's a link somewhere for last season's bots that we had available to play against humans. It's a little bit of a funny process. There's a whole guide that'll walk you through it. I'm sure somebody has a link. Maybe below me there's a link. I don't know. Check somewhere. You'll find it. But anyway, you can download. You can actually play against these bots, and we're going to have that opportunity yet again at our grand finals on September 9th. That is a Saturday. So make sure y'all swing by and make sure you all check out our Discord because we're going to make that app available to you all so you can play against the bots and send us your best replays. And if you got something good, we'll cast it in the grand finals. So make sure you all stay tuned and stay updated with what's going on there. Have you ever played against the bots?
I have, and I highly recommend everyone does it. It's incredible how good these bots are.
Yeah, especially some of these top bots like Tyr and Eris and Micro Machine, Ketrock. It's better than the AI in StarCraft in the built-in AI.
Way better. My main
maybe not for a Grandmaster, but they can beat that stuff anyway. So.
Oh yeah. But my main takeaway from the bots is just, I mean, they're machines, so it's how well they macro. Like if you just take bases on par with the bot, they will out macro the pants off you for the most part.
Well, that's actually a good point too. I'm sure some of you have noticed, and some of you already know, these workers seem to be moving a little bit extra fast. If you do a nice zoom in right where we're looking, you will notice they are speedy workers. They're actually mining more minerals than a human can at a much quicker rate. They are doing what we call speed mining. If you're not familiar with that, basically there is a built-in deceleration when your workers are mining naturally. So when they pick up their minerals and head to the base, drop them off. As they get close to the base, they slow down, stop, then drop off the minerals. What the bots are doing here is clicking right before the base. They're making sure they don't slow down, because when you move click, you don't have deceleration, right? Is that how that works? And then basically, so they move real fast, drop it off, and then they can just choo, like ping pong. I think that's how it works. Did that sound? Was that a good explanation?
I think that was a good explanation. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what percent of like an income boost that is. Is it like
it's like 10 to 12%? I think has been the average. One of the bot authors could tell you more accurately for sure. But yeah, it's not huge, but in early game, we have seen it kind of come into effect for things like 4-gate rushes and things like that. It does speed the timing up on those things. Ooh, goodbye, drone. Reaper gets a nice kill. Tyr is fighting. He does not want this Zerg to have any control on this map. 3 drones already. Wow, I was not paying attention. I just saw the one. Nice. That's a good Reaper. He was trained well.
Really good Reaper control.
Yeah. Very, very nice. All right, 3 bases. Both these bots doing a little bit more standard. Yeah, this time Eris doing a 3 base, then into lair, it looks like. So no cheeky swarm host this time. That's what's really cool about these bots, is how they adapt as well. A lot of them have multiple build orders. Some of them are even along the lines of machine learning. Not like full machine learning, but they use some aspects of that, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, here's that Hellion harass to try to slow things down. On Eris' side, is going to get some workers. That's nice.
Yeah, it's really chasing these drones into a corner.
Ooh, a lot of barbecue.
Pretty much all of them at that mineral.
Yeah.
Line.
Wow, the Queen's not really doing a lot. The Queens are worried about kiting away when they should be just diving in front of the flames to save these poor drones.
Yeah, what units does Eris have to deal with these? It's like pure drones.
That's it. Queens and drones. Now, is this just a later Swarm Host build? Yeah, it is. So it's a little bit delayed, but it's the same build in the end. It's Nidus Swarm Host by the looks of it. That's a lot of workers going down, though. That really slows things down.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a variation in the build that's programmed, or if that's like a follow-up to the Reaper getting kills. Because the Reaper didn't get any kills in the first game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
So, yeah, I wonder if that's just like an alteration because of the Reaper, sort of slowed things down a bit, or if it's just a build variation.
Well, here's a little bit of a variation. A little Liberator in the mineral line. Nice burrow, though. Eris is not having any of that. The Queens might get gunned down, though. There's not a whole lot of anti-air. Oh, it's going to be close. Yeah, I think they're going to be. Yeah, they're going to get it.
Okay, Woo! 2 Queens die in the process of cleaning that up.
All right, that's the sacrifice the Queens need to make. Keep those drones alive. Now that Burrow's done, the drones are doing a great job at staying alive.
Yeah.
That is a handy upgrade.
It's good proof that if you program a Zerg bot, you should probably spend some time working with Burrow.
Burrow's it's so quintessential to what Zerg is, in my opinion. Zerg should just be able to naturally dig underground.
Oh, yeah.
it's normal. So yeah, it's definitely an upgrade that's worth getting. We have never seen it not work well, at least in some scenario. It's like right here, it's keeping drones alive. It's not allowing the Hellions to do a whole lot more other than deny mining time, which does hurt, but not as much as losing the drones. So,
Oh yeah, for a human
wait,
player.
did that queen go down? What happened? Who won? Oh, the Hellion won!
For a human player, burrow can be debatable whether it's worth it, but these bots with their unlimited APM, they benefit massively from it. We now see these locusts coming in, hitting the third base of tiers, so some counter economic damage.
Yeah, Eris needs it if he's going to slow tier down. Yeah, that Nidus worm is up. The locusts are going to start harassing, but the ghosts are out. So they're going to be able to start sniping down the swarm hosts, and I think the delays were enough out of tier to buy him enough time to be able to get out the proper counter again.
Yeah, one of those ghosts almost goes down. There's tanks sieged up, but the Raven isn't out just yet, so these burrowed swarm hosts can't be dealt with. These locusts are coming in, and they're getting a lot of damage done, it looks like, as these tanks are forced to unsiege.
Yeah, that one ghost gets just mobbed by those locusts. A lot of damage. Oh, they don't live very long anymore, but boy, they still do a lot of damage, those locusts.
Yeah, there's no Banshee out for tier as well just yet to help chase these down. It would benefit massively from that. Instead, it's investing in a medivac. And so the Swarm Host are already getting more damage done than in the previous game.
Yeah, I'd love to see that that Raven Banshee squad going out again and starting to clean things up. Because if tier doesn't manage these Swarm Hosts, they actually could get to an unmanageable point where there's just too many. You know, it doesn't matter how much he has, he's just always going to take damage from this just powerful wave of locusts.
Yeah, we may already be at that point as both bases are being hit, so a lot of workers are dying. Eris is up 70 supply.
This is the harass Eris wanted.
Yeah, this when you go Swarm Host, this is exactly what you want to have happen.
Yeah, this is perfect play out of Eris here. You know, despite the little delay and still taking some damage because of that, there's just not a lot to defend the Swarm Host, but Eris is still managing to harass on multiple sides. Now, there's some Zerglings, Infestors, and Roaches coming out with Hydras on the way shortly. So Eris, I think, is going to get to that just scary, untippable, or unbreakable point. Yeah, Tier's falling apart to these Locusts here. Tier might be done. Supply is half right now.
I think so. If we look at it, like it's Ling harassment on one side. We see Tyr going for a bit of a Hail Mary attack, but it's a 200 or it's 100 supply difference. The Roaches are burrowing and getting on top of these siege tanks. It's
oh man, these siege tanks had a big mission and they were not able to pull it off here. Oh man, yeah, the Roach is blocking the command center. One last little reinforcement wave kind of comes in here, but it's going to get fungled and just absolutely decimated once this medevac energy runs out, I think.
Oh, it's so
I think
incredible.
That's going to be it for Tyr, I think.
The behavior from Eris to just prioritize harassment, it's still harassing with these locusts while also defending this attack with another group. It's really incredible.
So, what do you think? I think the main difference that allowed Eris to kind of get to this point was the earlier third base instead of going Swarm Host quicker?
Oh, I think so too.
Was that the biggest contributing factor, you think, to this?
Yeah, I think Tyr also slowed itself down by going for the Hellion harassment. Like, it was good. Like, it got some damage, but it seems the delay on its own Banshees and its Raven sort of prevented it from shutting down these Swarm Hosts too. Like, in the previous game, it really was the Banshees that shut down the Swarm Hosts.
Oh yeah, these Banshees or these Swarm Hosts have gotten so much damage throughout this game now. I mean, they have basically shut down this third base by themselves. So, yeah, that's gonna bring us to an ace match. We only had 4 ace matches in the last 2-3 weeks or something. Not a whole lot. I love my ace matches. I want every single one to be an ace match. So, we're gonna go to a game 3, and we're gonna see who can secure the first spot in the round of 8. It's gonna be one of these two. Man, both bots are playing super well.
They are. I think we did see the weakness in the ghost strategy, though, just for how how fewer units Tyr had compared to Eris?
Yeah, sometimes it's just a numbers game, I suppose. And Eris had the numbers because, again, I think that earlier third base just kind of allowed Eris to then start cranking out the army at a rate that was a little bit more appropriate for the scenario. So, all right. Well, we're all tied up here. Things are looking good. Again, this is just our first series. We have a lot of really good games tonight, so make sure y'all stick around. Get all your friends in here. Tell them about ProBots. Tell them how cool these bots are. And I am excited. I'm really excited to play against these bots in just a few weeks. Are you going to download and give us some replays this season?
I definitely will. Is there going to be an updated version of the client, or is it
there will be, yeah. Each season we update the client that you can use to play against bots. So the one you can download now is last season's.
Right.
But it still works. You can still play against a really good version of these bots. But we're going to have even better versions in just a few weeks. So yeah, make sure you download it. Stay tuned into the Discord wherever you got to go to stay updated. All right, I think we're ready. I wasn't watching the timer. We're ready for Game 3. Let's go see who moves into the round of 8.
Team Eris's.
Eris.
Tyr and Gertians.
Here. You all know who these bots are. All right. Infestation Station. Here we are for our final match of this series. Who do you think is moving on to the round of 8 based on what you've seen?
I'm a big fan of Tyr, but I think Eris is going to win.
You think Eris has figured out what Tyr's up to?
Yeah, unless like they default back to the same strategy as the previous match, as the first match. Like, I think it really depends if Tyr makes the Banshees. As Catrock pointed out in chat, it's weird that Tyr didn't.
Yeah, that is weird, especially since it worked so well game 1.
Oh yeah.
No, like you said, it was the Hellions that time were able to get in. So maybe the Swarm hosts stopped the original Hellions or something, which allowed Tyr to then go into Banshees. I don't know exactly what would have caused the switch.
Yeah, it's interesting to know what's sort of causation and what's just planned out.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with how complex these bots are getting. It's starting to get hard to keep track of, what's intentional and what's not sometimes.
Yeah, it really is.
Whoa.
There's so many layers to it.
That is an early third base.
Yes, it is.
Harris is like, that earlier third base worked so well in game 2. I'm going to get an even earlier base in game 3. And I think that's the perfect choice. That's really when we see Eris dominate just about everything, is when it goes the early 3 bases. Because what do? You can try to get a little army together and do some early harass, but you pretty much have to win the game with that then. Because if Eris gets established on 3 bases before you can get damage done or anything, you're just going to have the biggest uphill battle of your life trying to beat Eris.
Oh, it really is a big uphill battle. And I'm a big fan of Tyr's style. Like, it's exciting to see ghosts, but it takes so long to build up to a high ghost count. And that I really think that Eris is just going to sort of out macro Tyr because of it.
Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely looking that way in game 3 here. The macro is strong with this one. And wow, an early Zergling speed too, so gonna really get some good map control and just keep Tyr pinned back on his side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, game number 1 we saw an incredibly late Zergling speed, if we saw it at all. I don't even know if we did.
Eventually it did. Again, I think it did eventually get Zergling speed.
Drone harassment does kill it. Nicely done.
Yeah, but this is the third base. These are the extra drones at the moment, so I don't think it's a too huge of a deal. We saw, 3 kills last game? Didn't seem to phase Eris too much.
It's interesting that there's no Spore Trick or distractor trick to try and survive? Is that just...
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. I'm trying to think if we've seen a bot do that. I don't think any of the bots actually do that.
Yeah, I know that like a Reaper with under bot control can sort of block that building placement, but it's still sort of interesting that there wasn't an attempt by Eris, or maybe it's just not worth it. Who knows?
So, well, yeah, off the top of my head, it seems more complicated. So, burrow, obviously, you just burrow. You can get back to work when you burrow. If you build into a building like that, you then have to have some kind of criteria. Oh, I don't actually want this building. I need to then cancel it and go back to work or something, as opposed to a spore crawler that you do want or something. So you'd have to have specific, separate identifiers or something for that. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it's probably just not worth it.
It's just a little more complicated and not worth it. Yeah, it's just like, whatever, lose 2 drones, I'll get burrow in 20 seconds and then they'll be fine. Or a minute, it's like 30 seconds out.
Yeah, getting a bit of deja vu from the last game. As these Hellions do get some damage done, but there's the infestation pit from Eris, so, like, the big question is this enough damage? In the last game, it wasn't. We look at the worker count, it's 35 to 52.
Yeah, that's, even with all those worker kills, still very heavily in Eris's favor. Eris does not mind losing a few drones at this stage in the game. Because this is the drone-up phase anyway. Eris needs to wait until that Nidus is done, the infestation pit's done, until the swarm hosts start popping out. So, not a huge deal. Tyr's going to get that third base up and running. We'll see if Tyr can hold it against the swarm hosts this time. I think that's what it's going to come down to again. Is will there be an appropriate response to the swarm hosts that are going to be constantly attacking this third base?
Yeah, the Liberator's harassing once again. We'll see. Is it going to get more than the 2 queen kills we saw in the previous game? Doesn't look like it.
No, it's not. Too many queens already here. It might get 2. Oh, it doesn't quite get that shot. More drones are going to get killed at the third, though. Huge evacuation underway.
Yeah,
so
a scan is used, too, to prevent those drones from burrowing. But
it does seem like the drones identify that the scan is present as well.
They definitely do, yeah.
Attempt to burrow. They're like, oh, I'll just die anyway. Might as well run. So that's awesome attention to detail.
It is, but
scan there.
Like, it's quite concerning still for Tyr, as there's going to be 8 swarm hosts popping out in a second, hitting that third base.
Yeah, that's scary. I will say though, killing that many workers is going to give Tyr his best chance at holding this. But again, there just needs to be a counter to these.
There really does.
There has to be. We need to see banshees or something, or maybe the ghosts can get up on top of them and start sniping. We need something to stop that mass unit. It's almost like tanks. When you get to a critical number, there's just no amount of ground forces that will be able to push into 15 siege tanks. It just doesn't exist.
The main thing to watch out for is just how many units are dying for Tyr. So far, it hasn't been too many units dying. Once you lose your units, you lose your ability to clean up the locust. So far, though, the losses haven't been too big. Like a few SCVs, no real units have died in the army, so Tyr is still building up its force.
We do talk about that quite a bit here, just unit retention and how some of the better bots are the ones that can keep their units alive for longer. The ones who can go back and repair or heal up and just keep building and building. Basically, you're just more cost efficient that way. That way you're not spending money replacing things. You're spending money expanding and getting more things.
2 tanks dead, 2 ghosts dead, when really they probably could have just retreated and survived. So a bit of questionable micro there.
Oh, third base is under heavy fire. I fear the worst for this third. There's a couple of units here, and it's not going to go down this wave of locusts. 2 more waves, and I think that base is dead.
Yeah, how many swarm hosts are we at right now?
15.
It's quite a high number at this point.
17.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot of swarm hosts. Again, it's just that it's that critical number where once they get that wave off, you either have to run or stand and fight it and take a lot of damage. Eris doesn't care. They're free units for Eris. So it really does make it hard for Tyr to.
There's the tanks from Tyr. Like the stutter step micro on the tanks are good, but it's still too many losses here. It looks like.
Well, you're just fighting the same battle over and over. without actually getting any value.
Yeah, and
you're not
it's
killing
like,
any of Eris's army supply. You're not pushing back. You're not hitting economy or bases.
if there was a Banshee here, Eris would be losing these swarm hosts, but it's not.
Like trying to hold on against a tidal wave.
It is, yeah.
You just can't do it. You just can't do it. All right, a little force here pushing up on the high ground again. The medevacs are going, well, they were helping. But they decided to go the other way, away from the ghosts. Where are they going? They're like over the creep now. Oh, there's one unit over there. I think they went to heal. Like one ghost was way up on the creep. Ding. Dinner's done.
Yeah, I'll just be back in 1 sec.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, no, I think that's gonna almost do it. We're kind of in the same scenario as last game where Tyr just doesn't have quite enough of that base. Oh, it's burning. Nobody's repairing it. Oh, what a shame. That base is gonna burn it down. Go bloom. And that should pretty much be it. Yeah, with that base exploding. Tyr just doesn't have an economy left that can fight what Eris has. You know, yeah, there's a third base over to the right, but Eris has 6 bases, creep over half the map, a big army supply. We got a Spire about to finish up as well. Great upgrades finishing. This is just too much. Too much for Tyr to handle. Oh, it started so well. Tyr came in really, really strong in game number 1. Looked like you might be able to keep Eris on the ropes for long enough, but Eris adapted. Eris got greedy economically, and it really paid off. Because now we're just seeing the full might of the Zerg swarm crushing the last defenses of Tyr. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. It was my my kind neighbor / landlord dropping off some food. So it was very nice of them.
Very nice. Oh, we definitely got to get up for that. All right, well, you didn't miss much. Eris is just cleaning up the last Tyr here. So this means Eris is our first bot into the round of 8. Kind of to the surprise of no one, I'm sure.
Yeah, not too surprising there. It was a really, like, it was nice that Tyr took a map. A little disappointing we didn't see the Banshees in the second and third game, as they really seemed to be the make or break for it.
I think that was huge. I think that really was what allowed Tyr to keep control of the situation. And just to keep Eris in check. Even though Eris, went greedier economy in the games 2 and 3 and was able to keep that pressure up a little bit better. We didn't see Hydras for a long time in any of these games, so Banshees, could have definitely saved the day here for Tyr, but who knows? It's always hard to call these.
Mm-hmm. It would be interesting to know from the bot authors for Team Tyr.
Authors in this case, yes.
Why we didn't see the Banshees in the second and third game, whether it's a strategy choice or like a trigger or something. Like maybe over prioritizing the Medivacs instead of the Banshees. I don't know.
Yeah, because we did see a lot of Medivacs there. All right, well, that was our first series of the night, everybody. Thank you all once again for being here for ProBots. This is day 4. What are we on? Day 4? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, day 4. I thought we were on day 5 for a minute. I said day 5 earlier. I lied. Day 4 here. So we have got 3 more weeks after this of normal games. And then we're going into our grand finals. So make sure you put it in your calendar. Just play the replays. You don't need me to. Replays. We got replays. Do it. You kept telling me to say something. All right, Eris and Tyr. Here's a replay. No, this was a great series. This was a really fun back and forth between these two. And really, it's really good to see a bot able to kind of stand their ground against what Eris can do. Because we don't see that too often. Eris, for multiple seasons now, really has been the bot to beat. So, Tyr giving us a good show. I liked it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive that Tyr did take map number 1. Like, I was wondering whether if it was going to be a 2-0 for Tyr, but then the strategies changed a little bit, and Eris showed that those swarm hosts really are lethal.
Oh yeah, when used correctly, and when you have free reign like that to just keep spamming the bases with locusts, it's a good place to be as a Zerg.
Yeah, we see that 61% of the chat are disappointed, as Tyr was the bot everyone was cheering for, but I think that was a bit of the underdog
The underdog scenario.
support.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got another awesome best of 3 that is just about to happen. Let's talk about these 2 bots coming up real quick. We have now got Ketrock versus Xena. Ketrock is a lone author, the lone raven there, doing really well for himself on ladder. Definitely one of those bots that is in the top tier, could easily make it into the round of 8 here. This is a stacked group. To have Eris, Tier, Ben bot still left. Yeah, the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking in the wrong one. Group A was stacked as well. But this one, Ketrock, Dominion Dog, Xena has actually been looking really good the last couple of seasons as well. Loser of this will go down to face Dominion Dog, by the way. And there's Xena.
So neither of these bots will be eliminated, depending on which one loses right away. So that's nice to see.
Yeah. Just securing that round of 8. And again, one of our team authors here. We've got Soup Catcher and Bread Lobber. Good duo if you are working in like a little delicatessen or something that sells soup and sandwiches, right? Maybe that's how they got their start. Who knows? Awesome to see teams coming together though and building these bots. I think it really does give an edge to the bot a little bit because when you have multiple people giving their input and their thoughts on what they think is good and bad, you just get a little bit more of a well-rounded bot than if bands are a good example. When a band is a group, they make great music, and then sometimes when one of the band members goes and does a solo project, it's still good, but it might not be as good as the group.
Definitely, yeah. I imagine that communication really helps with what you're prioritizing your work on. Because,
not to say it's the best. There are still solo artists that are better than some bands. It's personal preference. But anyway, our game is ready. We have another best of 3 for y'all here. Ketrock versus Xena on day 4 of ProBots. Let's go.
Ketrocks.
Ketrock.
Team Xenas.
Xena. I keep telling him if he doesn't want to hear us, he should just mute us, but that's I take no responsibility for it.
Okay, anyway, so I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what language this Xenobot is programmed in. Haskell?
Yeah, so it's a totally different language. Yeah, it's the only bot in Haskell. I think it's pronounced Haskell. So basically, whenever a bot author decides to go this route, which the authors here have done, they have to do it all from scratch. Soupcatcher and Breadlobber have pretty much built everything needed in the Haskell framework to make the bot run. Much like you would see when we first started with these bots, some of the Java frameworks or things like that, or not Java, what's the main one? Python. The Python is the one that most bot authors use, So if more people are using Haskell, you might want to talk to these two. They could probably point you in the right direction. I forget exactly. We actually talked to Soupcatcher about why he chose Haskell. And I think it was just had to do, he was familiar with it. He had used it for work. Or was it Breadlobber that we talked to about it? Wait, don't they both use Haskell? Yeah. I'm confused by what you're... Anyway, so we are here on... I still can't pronounce this one. Gresvana? Is that it? Grisvana? Something like that. Did we lose you? You're muted, I think. I can't hear you laughing games. Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to talk to us. All right, game's shaping up here. Things are pretty normal. We have seen Ketrock do Banshee play of his own, actually. So we might see Banshees in our second series here. That kind of depends what he wants to go for. We also see Ketrock doing some cheesier things as well from time to time these days. Maybe some proxy barracks and that kind of thing. But looks like this is just going to be a much more standard TVT out of these two.
Yeah, I noticed that Xena actually had a question mark on its race when we were loading into the game, but it is a
Oh yeah, it's a
TVP.
random bot.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it does change. Does it change up per matchup or per
It can,
match?
yes. That we do allow that here in
That's
ProBots.
very
So yeah,
exciting.
we could see a TVP next, a TVZ. Who knows? Yeah, it's one of our few. Every now and then we'll get a random bot, and this is one of our few. I think our only one this season, actually. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. Adds a little bit, mixes it up a little bit, keeps it fresh. Well, I have no idea what to expect between these two. Especially since, yeah, Xena does kind of seem like it's pretty brand new in what it's doing. I haven't seen it play a whole lot. I don't know if you've seen any of its games, any of its replays.
I can't say that I have. It's a brand new bot for me. I've seen a lot of Ketrock bot, of course.
Oh yeah.
As far as the openings go right now, Ketrock going for that slow and steady expansion. Xenobot going for something a little bit quicker and what looks to be a battle cruiser rush.
Ooh, that would be nice. We've seen Benbot has always been our big battle cruiser bot. I like the battle cruisers in TVT. It can be a little bit risky, especially if your opponent is just kind of going straight Vikings or something like that. But if your opponent's going any kind of bio play, mech play, I think battle cruisers are just awesome. They just dominate.
Yeah,
Oh.
Ketrock spot's opening up with the double factory Magfield Accelerator Cyclone, so that's a very natural counter to the battle cruisers. But when it's a BC rush, the response does need to be very fine-tuned, and I'm just wondering if Xena is just going to teleport these two battle cruisers right across the map.
Yeah, that's it is hard to say which direction the bots want to take, because we have seen that be successful sometimes, but we've also seen that fall flat on its face. If there's not enough room to run away, all of a sudden you don't have a teleport because you just teleported into the main base, and oh no, there's a lot of units here to kill me. You just die, So we might see a little. I think we're going to see a little bit more of a, I don't know, just kind of an army push with the battle cruisers.
Okay. How was Xena's bot
I don't know.
matches against Sharpened Edge it played? It beat 2-1.
Oh yeah, that was a good series too. I think it actually went battle cruisers in that series as well. Now that you mention it.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems right. I don't know. These games all start to blur together.
I know that very much. So
Yeah, well, there's the first battle cruiser. Yep, no immediate jump into the main base. So we are going to see a little bit more of an army based around battle cruisers, which is good. We talked in the past few weeks about how some of these bots really just need an anchor to their army, be it Thors, be it battle cruisers, just something that you can use to hold your line, essentially.
I do worry a little bit with these BCs just sitting back for Xenobot, to be honest, because Ketrock's bot is so good in the late game. Having a
you gotta
TVT
put on
matchup,
pressure. Oh yeah.
like it's a little bit concerning here for the blue bot.
Well, especially with the lack of anti-air. What is there? 4 Marines? Man, these battle cruisers, if they were to push across right now, they could just decimate this army.
Honestly, like the
Right?
Cyclones, I think, would just shred them because they got the Magfield Accelerator upgrade.
Oh, do they have that now? Oh, there are 4 Cyclones. I thought those were like tanks. I wasn't looking close enough. I thought there was almost no anti-air there. Good call.
Yeah, so Xenobot is expanding, taking a 4th, but so is Ketrock's bot. And if it's just going to be mass BCs, like, I get the feeling that Ketrock's bot will come out ahead as long, like, and I imagine it's got some sort of scouting behavior against this too. Like, once it catches wind of the BCs, it'll probably transition more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Battle cruisers are a new update. It even says that in my show notes that I didn't read properly. So this is a totally new strategy out of Xena. Let's see how it works out as the battle cruisers do come in. The Cyclones got pulled to the left, but they are going to come back to the main army, and the battle cruisers just hightail it out of there, but not before getting a nice Yamato off.
Is Xenobot saying nope as it realizes there's
Good
a
call.
bit too much for it?
Now, was it saying nope, I don't want to fight this, or nope to the Cyclone as it
I think it was
blasted into
saying nope,
oblivion?
I don't want to fight this.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't either. That is, like you said, with the mag field accelerator, you're gonna die. You're gonna die quick if you're in a battle cruiser. You're just gonna crash and burn.
Yeah, the Yamato cannon and the retreat is pretty much the best thing that it could do there. And we may just see it dump Yamato cannons multiple times in retreat.
Hey, that's a great way to go too. You get enough battle cruisers, you can just keep on some constant Yamatos, instant kills on a lot of valuable units. So that's a great way to go. I like it. All right, here we go. Battle cruisers coming in. They have a decent spot
there
that
they
can
go.
still run away from. And we got 1, 2, 3. Is there one more? Oh no, that fourth one was on cooldown from that shot a while ago. Still a lot of damage. That actually might have been enough to be able to push this back. It is. 4 battle cruisers is the magic number, apparently. Here's 5 just for good measure.
Yeah, Ketrock's bot is still making a lot of ground units. It also invested in a Banshee earlier. That's not going to help deal with battle cruisers. So it's pretty much on this one Cyclone to clean up 5 battle cruisers.
Oh, there's a Viking. There is one Viking with a couple more coming out. But they're a little bit late to the party. I don't think it's going to be in time. There are 6 battle cruisers here. They still have their teleport. Keep
3 Vikings at a time are being produced for Ketrock's bot at least, now that it's got those extra starports online, but there's another Yamato cannon.
That's really smart. So it really feels like Xena is saving the Yamatos for anti-air things, not using it on tanks or even Marines, if there are any more. I don't think there's any more Marines coming out.
Yeah, it really is incredible, and the way it's pushing in too is it's not wasting any time. It kills one base. It's now going for the natural command.
Yeah, it's being really safe. It's moving in very methodically, not just diving in trying to follow units into the main base. Oh, one battlecruiser might go down if it doesn't teleport out. It's going to stay to the last second. It looks like. Yep, does get out of there. Boom, that's 2.
Okay, Ketrock's bot is starting to push away some of these battlecruisers. The repair on that base is keeping it alive a little bit longer against these BCs.
There's more battlecruisers producing than Vikings at this point. I think the battlecruisers got it. There's just going to be too many. They're slow to get across the map, but once they get here, they can just Yamato another Viking down. And if there's more, yeah, there's just too many.
I mean, they're starting to retreat. This is going to buy Ketrock's bot a little bit of time, and the micro is very good on the Vikings.
They are doing a really good job of staying just outside of that battlecruiser range.
And they're
so far, I don't think any
forcing them all back.
That doesn't matter if they don't die, right? They can just go home and repair. Oh, he gets one. All right, moral victory there. You might actually get a second one if a couple lock-ons go down again. That seems to be the key here. You need to have those Cyclones and the Vikings in conjunction with each other to be able to just blast that battlecruiser down right before it can teleport out of there.
Yeah, now it's a battlecruiser trickle, sort of, as they're repaired and sent across the map again.
A leak of battlecruisers?
Yeah, whatever the term for multiple battlecruisers is.
Oh, we got a leak of battlecruisers again in the floorboards. Oh yeah, that's way too many. That's
yeah,
so many
it is.
Nice build. I really like this out of Xena, and it wasn't even a huge all-in-ish cheesy. I'm just gonna go straight to battlecruisers and try to cheese you out. It was a solid. I'm gonna keep getting bases behind it, getting upgrades. I'm gonna have the ability to go home and defend if I need to. And wow, really strong build. This is kind of one of those. It is a little cheesy in the sense that you're only going battlecruisers. We've talked about Mass Tempest before, how that hasn't been truly exploited yet. This is another one that hasn't been truly exploited to its full potential until now, I think. And that is an unstoppable army.
It really is, and a big thing about Ketrock's bot is that it relies really strong on a general defense. It's not like it scouts out every build and reacts to it. It relies heavily on the planetaries, the couple of Cyclones, and the tanks to defend, and apparently against 2-port battlecruiser that engages, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it seemed like, at least at that moment in time, 4 battlecruisers was the key number. He had just enough Yamatos to take down enough Cyclones that they were no longer a threat. And then from there, if you don't have any other anti-air, yeah, the Vikings started coming out at that point, but they just weren't fast enough. If you don't have that anti-air, the battlecruiser is just going to roll you over and keep that pressure on, teleport back home, repair, come back for round 2, and Ooh, that's hard to hold. That is kind of one of those things where you do have to stop it before it gets to that critical mass. Kind of like we were talking about with the swarm hosts and tank things like that. You just can't let them get there. You know. All right, game 2 loading up here. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if Xena is gonna secure that spot in the round of 8 and move on, or if Ketrock can turn things around. It's going to be an awesome match. Either way, thank you all for being here on day 4 of ProBots. Let's go.
Cat rocks.
Ketrock.
Team Xenas.
Xena.
Okay, so a few things here. We've got Xenobot playing Protoss for starters.
Ooh, switching it up.
And we've
like
got
it.
Ketrock's bot going for a one base Cyclone play, I think it said.
Yeah. Oh, did it do its little? Some of these bots have that. Yep, one base Banshee Cyclone. Okay. And yeah, that's one of Ketrock's really solid strategies. Can deal with a lot of early game shenanigans here. Yeah, a lot of the bots now are starting to state their intents at the beginning of the match.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to see a proxy void build. So Xena really pulling out all the stops with this update. Going to keep Ketrock guessing
I'm a
in
big
every
fan
aspect.
of that.
That is really cool. Just really doing some cheeky stuff that Ketrock might not be ready for unless it gets scouted out necessarily. I like it. All right, well, we are on, what map are we on today? Infestation Station. This is a good map for Void Rays because it's a little bit tricky, I think, on the ground to get across the map effectively. There's a lot of rocks blocking paths, and just kind of a weird, windy, right? Isn't this the kind of windy one where you have to like go left and then right? Or is it just a straight shot down the middle?
And the cliffs on this map, it's so abusable by Void Rays.
Oh, yeah, look at this position. Right next to this cliff face, so there's going to be a lot of room here to pull back to, I'm assuming, shield batteries. I have no doubt we're going to see a big wall of shield batteries here to keep the Void Rays pressure on. When is Ketrock going to spot this? That is going to be the big question. Because I feel like if he does spot it, he's going to do something about it. And at the moment, it is just outside of his vision.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Ketrock's bot scouts much, to be honest.
Yeah, it isn't. I thought every now and then he would send like a Marine across to check things out. Maybe not right now though, or maybe when his first air units are popping out. First Banshee probably. Oh, but by the time the first Banshee pops out, we're gonna have 3 Void Rays.
It's
and,
a
well,
tank
Banshee's not gonna
too.
do anything anyway. So. Oh, a tank. Yeah, that's. Well,
Yeah,
too
not
bad
a
tanks can't
Cyclone.
shoot up, right?
If it was a Cyclone, it's like, all right, that's the first step to defending a proxy Void Ray, but single siege tank is not going to do too well.
Widowmine could do well if the Void Ray just walks right into it, but I don't think Xena's going to do that. And here we go. The Void Ray will begin its charge.
See, look at this. Ketrock's bot is just such like a general bot. It's only now just finding out that it's up against a Protoss bot when the Void Ray rolls in.
Oh, yeah, because it didn't know because it's random. Typically, he might know what the opponent is if he knows what race it is. But, yeah, this time he just found out. And that's not a good time to find out what your opponent is when there's Void Rays just hitting your base. A few Marines are here. One Cyclone about to pop out. So, finally, the anti-air is starting to come down. The tank actually gets one shield battery. That's a great start. That's really huge. The Void Rays need to take that tank out if this is going to continue. They're really focusing on what's on the main base, though. They don't care that this tank is just absolutely decimating their defensive line.
Yeah, Cyclone getting some lock-ons, forcing those Void Rays back. However, it could potentially be hunted down, but there's a
Oh,
Widow Mine.
there's the Widow Mine! Oh no! Everything is going wrong here for Xena, it looks like.
Yeah, second Cyclone just pops out now, and this is where the snowball really happens. Like,
And no Void Rays have died yet, though. That is pretty key. That if you start losing Void Rays, it's pretty much over. If you can keep all those Void Rays alive...
Oh no, the Cyclone dives forward trying to catch that Void Ray, and it will perish as a result.
Yeah, the Void Ray was getting healed up by the shield battery, so the lock-on didn't actually do any damage. It was so low on health, but it didn't die. Yeah, having these 3 Void Rays still alive is huge. That actually gives Xena still a chance to make something happen. But Kedrock's doing a great job at tearing this proxy down.
There's another dive for that Void Ray. At least the Cyclone does survive this time. Magfield Accelerator is about 20 seconds off, and once that's done, these Cyclones will chew through the Void Rays, because Ketrock's bot can survive that long.
Yeah, if he can keep even just 1 Cyclone alive, that's huge. I think that's all he has at the moment. He's got another producing. Yeah, we're going to see Magfield finish up here, so we're definitely going to see a Void Ray, I think, start to fall once that finishes. Any second. Yeah, now there's 2 Cyclones here. We're going to have at least 1 dead. Yep, there it is.
That siege tank on the low ground has been so critical here. Killed the
he's the MVP.
Killed all the batteries.
That siege tank is the absolute MVP of this game. It's about to kill the proxied Stargate, and that stops this in its tracks. Now the Cyclones with their advanced ballistics, they can just gun these Void Rays down. There's no more shield battery power left. That's it.
Yeah.
This is held.
I know at the start of the game I said, oh, a siege tank, Ketrock's bot is basically screwed, but that tank did so much work.
Yeah, that tank showed you what's up. Who knew? Counter to Proxy Void Ray was a single tank. There it is. Nope, indeed, Xena. You got shut down. You're going to have to switch things up. Now, important to note, some bots don't have a fallback when their initial strategy fails. Xena appears to, which is very good. We've got a Robo Bay on the way, Twilight Council. We might see... I don't know. I was going to say we might see some kind of hold here, but Xena is so far behind now after losing all that.
It is incredibly far behind. However, Ketrock's bot is a turtle bot, so it's not like it's just going to move across the map and kill Xena.
It's going to give Xena time to build up. That's true. All right, well, we'll see how this plays out. We're going to sit back, relax here while Xena tries to play a little bit of catch-up here, but Ketrock's in a very, very dominating position at this point in time. So it's going to be totally up to Xena to, I don't know, do something. What do you even do when you're this far behind?
Well,
go straight into carriers? Blink. Or blink? Yeah, blink. Mass blink, maybe?
I think that's the way to go. That's the only way I've been able to beat Ketrock's bot.
Yeah, it's Ketrock is a hard bot to beat, human or bot as a human or a bot. You know, he has really good micro, really good decision making. Yeah, maybe a little general here or there, but sometimes that's all you need to win. Yeah, it's not enough time. There wasn't enough time for Xena to get anything together. This game is over. Ketrock's gonna tie things up and bring us to our ace match. Ace matches all night, baby. Let's go. That's what I want. Wow. So I guess if Xena gets Protoss again, Xena might be in trouble because Ketrock seems to have the proxy Void Ray defense figured out. Even though Ketrock didn't even realize it was proxy Void. This is hilarious. That observer just took more Viking shots than any observer in the history of observers. So congratulations to it. I forgot what I was even saying. That observer just derailed me so much.
Yeah, I think you're
going
saying
to an ace match.
It pretty much is going to depend what race Xena gets.
Oh, yeah. I think it is going to depend a little bit on which race. If you get Protoss again, I think Ketrock's just going to seal the deal here and move on to the round of 8. But we haven't seen the TVZ out of Xena yet. Which true. I think that is Xena's original race, actually, was...
Okay.
Zerg. Am I mistaken there? Correct me if I'm wrong. Either that or Supercatcher has a different Zerg bot. I don't know. We're going to see. We will find out in game number 3 as soon as it loads up here. Thank you all once again for joining us. This has been an awesome start to our day so far. Again, we are in our upper brackets of each group today, so no eliminations. That'll happen next week. So make sure you hit the little bell if you need a notification. Come join us next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we've got, one more game here. Then we're going to do a little break, and then we're going to have 2 more best of 3s. So we got lots of games here tonight still, so stick around. Watch these matches with us. It's a lot of fun. Go check out Laughing Games on YouTube while we're between games. Make sure you follow his channel as well if you want more bot content. Yeah, some really good stuff there. All right, game number 3 is ready. Let's see who moves on to the round of 8. Let's go.
Cat rocks.
Cat rock.
Team Xenas.
Xena. Alrighty. Are you ready? Are you ready for the States match?
I'm very ready.
You hyped?
You
hyped
hyped.
to battle cruisers again?
I darn sure hope so.
I think that's what it said. I think Xena decided for the battle cruiser rush. If we look at the chat there, yep. 70 for it looks like 70%. I don't know. Weight. It decided that it's got a 70% chance to win as opposed to lesser chances to win with other things. Yeah, because of that 1-0. Oh, I guess it's got some match history here. I didn't realize. So it's 0-3, and it's Mass Marines against Ketrock. I'm assuming this is against Ketrock's stats. Oh, it's interesting to see all that. Okay, a little Proxy Marauder sometimes. All right, looks like Ketrock's going that one Banshee Cyclone once again. What do you think? Do you think this is going to turn out like game number 1, or will the Cyclones be able to dodge the Yamatos? Just kidding, you can't dodge Yamatos. Actually, didn't they just update something? What did they update that? Oh, it was the snipe for ghosts, where it like loses its snipe lock.
Yeah,
if something goes out of range. Yeah, I'm assuming that's not the case for Yamato still. Like if the Yamato locks onto you, you're getting hit by a Yamato.
The only way to dodge a Yamato is a Medivac or blink or.
Oh yeah, I guess you could blink, or yeah, if you lift up into a Medivac or something. Okay, that's a good point. So there are ways to escape that inevitable doom of the Yamato cannon. It's good to know. Like something they should teach you in Boy Scouts or something. How to dodge a Yamato cannon.
Just in case.
Just in case you encounter one in the wild. Here's how you dodge it. All right, Dragon Scale is going to be our final map of the series here. And yeah, we're just going to kind of see a repeat of game number 1. So it's really going to come down to the battle cruiser Yamatos. I really do think that. I think if the Cyclones get picked off again, the battle cruisers are just going to be able to reign supreme, keep that pressure on, and just not even give Ketrock a chance to build up a force. But should the Cyclones lock on and kill a battle cruiser, then things might be a little different.
Yeah, unit positioning can completely change the outcome, even though these bots do seem to be going for similar builds as game number 1.
Yep. All right, well, actually, I did want to mention, while this ramps up, since we kind of know what's going on here, if you are a new bot author, or you think this looks really cool, and you want to become a bot author, make sure you check out our GitHub. We just started that up, and you can actually get a template for a bot. I believe it's a Terran bot to get started. There's a lot of resources available in the AI Arena Discord as well. A lot of great bot authors there willing to help you out and share their stuff. So go check that out. But yeah, definitely check out our YouTube videos. We got some tutorial pages. We've got a lot of resources available for new bot authors, should you want to get involved. Do you dabble in the bot creation, or do you just watch?
I've been called out. I'm just a spectator.
I am too. Yeah, I'm not smart enough to build a bot.
My programming knowledge is pretty darn limited. If I was to program a bot, it would be, I don't know what I'd program it in. I've done like a little bit of Python and a little bit of C++, but it would be, I'd need like a month of nothing on my schedule to be like, all right, let's give it a whirl.
It definitely is a little bit of a time commitment. You have to know, some coding and things like that. But don't get too intimidated. Again, if you're thinking about joining the ranks of bot authors, again, there's a lot of really good resources available to get you started, should you want to put in that time. And there's even multiple ladders on AIarena.net. We just introduced a brand new micro ladder where you can just tell a bot to fight with a few units. Yeah, I got a little cuddle muddle. We see some of the bots do this. They all really get fixated on that one location that they all want to be on.
Basically musical chairs for that one spot.
Basically. Anyway, go check out the ladders over on AIarena.net. There's also a standard beginner ladder for newer bot authors if you want to just do a bot to play normal StarCraft like you see here. And then there's the normal ladder. I guess you could call it the advanced ladder. It's the one where Eris is sitting at the top, the king of the mountain there. So definitely a bit of a hill to climb to get to that point, but it is totally within reach. We have new bot authors every single season in ProBots. So that is how attainable it is. You can make a bot and get in ProBots pretty quick if you just throw something good together.
There is a slight strategy variation, it looks like, unless I'm mistaken, but there wasn't 3 BCs building at a time for Xena in the previous match.
I think
maybe
right.
I'm
maybe there
mistaken
was
on that.
No, I think you might be right. There was, I don't know. I'm trying. Maybe we just didn't notice.
Maybe, but anyway,
maybe things just went a little bit quicker this time. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to go back and watch some of the replays and get all the little details. But yeah, either way, we've got multiple battlecruisers. Yamato is being researched, and as soon as Yamato's done, I think those battlecruisers are going to work their way across the map and start picking off cyclones. And so let's keep a unit count here. If there is a cyclone for a battlecruiser, Ketrock's done for. You need at least double the cyclones, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Ketrock spot I know builds turrets sometimes too. That could be
those could help a little bit. I feel like Xena's just going to stay out of the range of the turret, though, right?
Yeah, but it's like about using up shots and tanking and that sort of thing.
That's true. Oh, I see. Yeah, if Xena decides to Yamato the turret instead, yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But I mean, Xena's moving out now. Ketrock spot has changed literally nothing from the previous game, it appears. So I think we are right to be a little concerned for the red bot.
Little flight. Isn't that Flight of the Valkyries? What is that one?
I believe it is.
Anyway, Yamato is about to come down. Yeah, there's 4 cyclones and 3 battlecruisers. That means we're going to have 3 dead. Oh, it's not done yet. Oh, it's not done yet.
Just before Yamato cannon was done, and that makes the BCs hesitate a little bit.
Okay, but now Yamato is done.
Yeah, but look at this. They're going home to be repaired.
Xena's running away. No.
That's actually such a huge timing factor.
I think that actually favors Xena, though, because now we're just going to have more battlecruisers coming in for the second wave.
That's true.
Everything's going to get Yamato. There's going to be nothing that shoots up if 7, 8 battlecruisers all with fresh Yamato come in. Yeah,
that's true, but Ketrock spot was pretty much dead at this point in the last game, so it's living a little bit longer.
All right, I think Xena's going to move on to the round 8 with this maneuver here. We'll find out. It's going to all be on Ketrock to try to hold. That's a lot of things that don't shoot up, and the things that do are starting to get Yamato.
On, but yeah, the starports are so late from Ketrock spot. There's a Widow Mine that's going to burrow and unburrow and die.
Yeah, Scan gets it anyway, so... Yeah,
and
just now we switched into Viking production. There was a Banshee finishing up, 1 Viking on the way. That's it. I think Xena has secured its position in the round of 8 with a nice update coming in as a random bot with some really nice little cheeky builds here. Some really powerful builds.
A bit of a snipe.
Bit of a snipe. Hey, that's what happens. That's what ProBots is about sometimes. We have actually reduced the amount of snipage that is possible with our update schedule and just the way we do it. Yeah, you'll know sometimes exactly who you're going up against, but not always. Sometimes it could be against 2 different bots, and especially for the round of 8, you have to be able to fight every single bot, potentially, in the round of 8. Because you don't know who you're going to go up against after that first round. So, that's it. Xena's moving on. Ketrock will go to face Dominion Dog next week. for an elimination match. So we're going to have a TVT next week. And one of those Terrans will get tossed in the scrap pile. Meanwhile, Xena is just going to be sitting there waiting in the round of 8. Nicely done. Well done, Soup Catcher and Bread Lobber. Good team effort here.
Shooting those tech labs.
That's so funny to watch. Just like cancel, 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 cancel. It burns up the money quicker. How is Ketrock still getting the money for all this? Where are his mining base? Oh, he's got one mining base down left, I guess. How does he have money to cancel this much still? All right, good series. A good couple of best of 3s to start things off here tonight. I like
no
it.
2-0s makes for an exciting night.
Ace matches all night, baby. All right, well, that's going to wrap up our first 2 best of 3s, but make sure you all stick around. We do have more games coming up. We've got 2 more best of 3s before we wrap things up tonight, and we've got a little bit more to talk about, so make sure you're all sticking around. Tell your friends to come join us as well, because you've only seen the start of it. Those were just a couple of teasers for what is to come. We have got Sharkbot versus Kaninana coming up after the break, and Micro Machine going up against Osavibot. A couple of new bots that we've only seen a little bit of so far in ProBots. Again, totally attainable goal for you new bot authors to get a bot made, get on the ladder, and then get into ProBots if that is something that you're looking forward to. Or if you just like to make a bot that you just want to watch play against other bots. Totally cool too. We'd love to see your bot over on the ladder at aiarena.net. All right, I think that's mostly it for the moment. We're going to go to a little 5-minute break. Are you cool with that, Laughing Games?
Yeah.
You okay
as
to
long as we're
take a
coming
little
back
break?
for more bots after.
We will, I promise. We will be back with more bot action in just about 5 minutes. Thank you all again for being here on day 4 of ProBots. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Get us a little more visibility. We appreciate if you have done so already. And we'll see you all after the break. Stay tuned. We're back. Yes, we're back. Welcome, everybody, back to day 4 of ProBots. We're going back into all of our groups. We've just seen groups A and B. Our first 2 bots have now been moved into the round of 8. Very exciting stuff here. Did that turn out kind of how you thought it would, Laughing Games?
Honestly, I was sort of surprised that Tier 1, the first match, the way it did in its series. And then
good.
I have never seen Xena before, so I can't say I'm surprised. I'm impressed, however.
It's very impressive to beat Ketrock. Yeah. That is not an easy feat to beat Ketrock. That is for certain. He is one of those top bots. I think he's number 2 or 3 on the ladder. Something like that. I'm going to check right now. Anyway, while I check that, while we get our next series loaded up, we're going to talk a little bit about it here. We have got 2 more best of 3s for you. We're going to be starting off with... Oh, my bracket went away. Who are we starting off with, Laughing Games? Do you know? Sharkbot.
Oh gosh, putting me on the spot. We have got...
There's Sharkbot.
Is Sharkbot and Kaninana.
I think it's Kaninana, I believe.
Kaninana. Well,
Kaninana. That's how I pronounce it. It could be wrong. I don't know. No one's corrected me, so we're going to go with whatever you want, I guess. But yeah, this should be a fun matchup. We've seen both of these bots in a few seasons of ProBots now. Sharkbot, I feel, is known a little bit more for the cheesy builds, the proxies, things like that, where Kaninana is kind of taking the route of that just real strong, solid Zerg macro play. But I'm trying to think if Kaninana does any cheeses. Let me look at my notes here and see. But either way, this should be a really fun matchup. I believe both bots' ELO was pretty similar there. Yeah, we have, and again, keep in mind, we have had updates. So these bots should have been updated. We're assuming they've been updated, unless told otherwise. This changelog is screwy, Drek, by the way, for Kaninana. I don't know what's going on there. There's like something in red. Anyway, we're going to hop into this in about 30 seconds. While we wait, make sure you check out all our resources. Check out all the links below me. All the stuff I've been talking about tonight. Resources for new bot authors. Links to our Patreon page to help support more seasons of ProBots and get you extra ProBots content. We do a fun little show on Friday nights. That's tomorrow night for our subscribers, where we actually have a guest come on, usually a bot author, somebody working on something cool. Tomorrow night we have I believe his name is Raiden, Raiden, I believe it is, going to be talking about AI and how you can train AI to do StarCraft casting and things like that. So it should be a really fun conversation and a really cool look into some cool tech stuff. So make sure you check out ProBots. That is the name of that show on Friday nights. All right. Are you ready, Laughing Games, for our next series?
I am very ready. Sharkbot, very exciting to watch. And then Cananana, I'm going to be wondering every time I say it.
Yeah, unless somebody corrects us, we're going to say it however we want.
Is a very exciting Zergbot to watch too.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully you're all excited. Let's go ahead and dive into this best of 3 game number 1 right now.
Shark Nices.
Sharkbot.
Patoshes.
Kaninana. Yeah, I looked it up. Well, I think Kaninana stands for like viper or snake or some kind of that. Hence the snake picture there. I think it's some kind of snake or something. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, yeah, I was looking at the updates here. So it looks like Kaninana's update mostly entails a bit of a more defensive build. So we might be seeing a bit more of a macro game out of our Zerg here, which could be really nice. We'll see how that pans out. Sharkbot, I got to read the update here. So we have a lovely letter from Sharkbot. In case you didn't know, Laughing Games, Sharkbot actually started as a chat bot that you could go and have a conversation with on your computer. And you still can. There's somebody can get you the link if you want it. It's a chat bot. You just go talk to it like you would Siri or one of those other bots that you talk to. Anyway, he wrote us a lovely letter that I'm going to read to y'all now. Dear ProBots, I mostly just drew pictures and chatted with strangers online. Then one of them reminded me I have a ProBots match coming up. So I fixed some building placement bugs and worked on my Stalker micro. Oh yeah, I made some tweaks to my 4-gate too. P.S. I've been working out a lot. I put a picture on the drop blocks. Please update my image. Love, Sharkbot. So hopefully his image has been updated. I'm assuming the image we saw was the most updated one.
The buff shark.
Love you too, Sharkbot. Yeah, the big buff shark, essentially. He's got a few bots. So there's Sharkbot. I think there's a mecha shark or something. Maybe I'm making that. I know there's whale mean. Yeah, so there's a few aquatic type themed bots.
Yeah, I'm noticing a trend here.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so we've got the Zergling actually gets the probe. I thought the probe would get the pylon down, but not quite. So that's no more scouting information for Sharkbot. I'm surprised to not see something super cheesy out of Sharkbot, to be honest. I thought we'd start things off with a proxy or I don't know, something.
3-gate opening.
Pretty standard. Yeah, I don't know. I've never viewed a 3-gate as cheesy though. That's like the most standard into Nexus, like especially if it goes into Nexus, it's just 3-gate into Nexus. So you have some army, so you have some units. You're not trying to put pressure on like a 4-gate. You're not trying to get tech early with a 2-gate. You're just doing a 3-gate solid, get a few units, stay alive build.
Okay, that's fair for pro.
That's how I view it anyway. We'll see how it pans out. Now I'm really curious to see what Kandi and Anna's going to do if we're going to see some more later game stuff. We've been seeing a lot more bots start to get really good with late game compositions like Vipers, Brood Boards, Infestors. We're seeing a lot of the late game stuff these days. So I'd like to see Kandi and Anna get to that point and work up into that.
I've definitely cast Kandi Nana, and there has been quite a bit of late game.
Excellent. Well, let's see if we can get into that. Or for the Adepts. I don't know, the Adepts doing a pretty good job of getting a lot of Zergling kills here. He's just staying in that mineral patch. I would really like it if that Adept just went into that mineral patch, in between those 2 mineral patches, and just use that as its safety zone, essentially. Because you're going to maximize the amount of kills you get if you're there.
There is a 4th gate up for Sharkbot now.
Oh, there is.
And so it is going to be pushing across the map with Adepts and Stalkers.
I thought it was a 3-gate into Nexus. Turns out we're doing a good old 4-gate without the proxied pylon, as it did get shut down. So I guess this was kind of predetermined at the start. We saw that probe trying to put that pylon down, and that was foreshadowing what was to come.
Oh, that's a lot of Zerglings, though.
There's a lot, and they've got speed. Are they going to be able to catch these Stalkers? They haven't gotten this around just yet, but it looks like they should be able to clear them out. Yeah. Yeah, that is just enough Zerglings. That is a perfect defense.
Did it get fooled by the hallucinated Archon?
I think it had. So we have never really seen that until this season. We have been seeing multiple instances of hallucinations and even changelings. I know those aren't quite hallucinations, but I feel like they kind of fall in the same category. But we see them really kind of screw with the bot and mess up their decision making and their micro a little bit. And
yeah,
now there's just a lot
micro
of
is incredible from SharkBot.
Oh, it's really good. Look at all, you can see all the millions of clicks that those adepts are performing every split fraction of a second to be able to calculate the best escape route, I would imagine, to kind of kite backwards and keep doing maximum damage.
Yeah, so the Adepts were doing good against the Lings. However, those 3 Stalkers dying earlier really hurt, as they are not there to deal with the Queens.
These Queens are kind of the last line of defense, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit, until those roaches pop out.
Oh, there's a roach, okay. Yeah, how many? We got 1, 2, 4 more roaches on the way. Another hallucination. Looking, is it? Oh yeah, I thought that was SharkBot set. So Connie Nana does recognize there's a Colossus and thinks it has Thermal Lance, so it's reading the state of the game. I don't know how much that's going to affect his decision making at this point, because you just got to build roaches. You just have to build more army to hold this off.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it really is interesting that, like, the game, I guess, just reads that Colossus as a Colossus.
And so I'm curious, do you know if the Colossus, so see how it's attacking, can the bot register when an attack does no damage? I would imagine.
100%,
right?
That could be programmed, but
it just has to be programmed in.
Yeah, it's almost like it's definitely
burrow.
like a programming thing, the way that, like, just by default, without any considerations taken into place, that Ananana is like, yeah, that's definitely a Colossus.
Yeah.
Instead of just not registering it at all. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way that StarCraft 2 is programmed, I guess.
Yeah. Got a little game of Whack-A-Roach going on here. Roach is using that burrow upgrade. We saw it earlier. And now we're seeing it used pretty well again. It really did allow the Roaches to take a much more favorable fight. They were going to win the fight anyway, but it really just makes sure that they can heal up and keep that force strong. Oh, it was looking really even and really good for SharkBot. I thought he might have had enough to keep the pressure on a little bit better, but I think Kanyanana's got enough to hold this off, and there's just nothing else out of SharkBot coming in the works, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Kanyanana is just, it's just too good of a Zergbot to die to something as simple as the 4-gate, it seems.
And having the 4-gate delayed by not having that proxy pylon, I wonder how much that affected things. Because it was pretty close there, right? Where the supply was pretty dead even for those first couple engagements. I wonder if SharkBot had been able to reinforce and just had that force there sooner because of that proxy pylon, if this would have gone differently. We'll never know now, I suppose. 100lings. How much money is that? Quick. 5,000?
Well, it says 2,500, right? Or
how many minerals does 100 Zerglings cost?
Well,
but he's also lost. Oh yeah, you're right, because he's lost the Overlord and then a couple more. The answer was right in front of me, and I didn't even realize it. All right, well, I think Kanyanana has got this one in the bag. SharkBot has started building a second base. I'm eating my shoe a little bit. I thought there was no fallback plan. I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know if one Nexus is exactly a viable fallback plan, but...
It's not.
If you're not going to GG, you got to do something, so...
That's a good Cheers to that. If you're not gonna GG, you might as well try. Yeah, I think this one's pretty much written in stone. Kaninana is going to be able to push across and take it with his massive Roach Force, 45 army supply to 8. But it was a decent, again, it was a decent little attack, even though it did get slowed down. The proxy got shut down. Sharkbot still was putting on the pressure pretty good there, where he kept the supply very even for about a minute or two.
Yeah, you do really have a good point about that pylon. If that pylon's up and the reinforcements are warped in across the map, maybe Sharkbot can win.
That's a quintessential part of the 4-rush, is it not? The proxied pylon. You have to have that reinforcement, that quick keep the pressure on. That's the whole point of the 4 game. So, yeah, I'm just curious if Kaninana would have still held it, though, because, it's a 4 game. We are kind of in the day and age, especially with the bots, where a 4 gate typically isn't going to break most of the top bots that you see in ProBots.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, talking about pro matches, a 4 gate hasn't really been viable since Legacy of the Void came out.
It's kind of one of those, you're just hoping that the other bot or the other player's just not ready for it, because it's such an out there build at this point. It's just so old, and yeah, you see it every now and then, but you're probably not gonna. So, I do still think it's viable, though. I do still think it can work when executed properly, when done, especially by a bot. We saw, oh gosh, Scarlet made a 4 gate bot. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I did, actually, yeah.
And it was right there on the cusp of just being the scariest thing in the world. And then she got busy with like actual StarCraft and stopped delegating it. And then we never saw it again. So I was a little bummed that we didn't get to see the evolution of the 4 gate bot, to see just how strong it really could be, especially with speed mining. That's one of those builds that speed mining really ramps it up just a little bit quicker, gets your army there a little bit faster. You can reinforce a little bit more because you just have that extra income a little bit sooner. Nice Warp Prism Micro. We've seen Sharkbot do this before. One of the few bots that actually does some really good Warp Prism Micro. Not gonna work here, obviously. This game is super over, but still nice to see. He's trying, he's keeping active. Excuse me. A little tickle in my throat there. All right, how y'all feeling about these games? Let us know. Oh yeah, I forgot the poll. Who do we all want to win? Pretty even on this one. Pretty even spread.
Yeah, I'm cheering for Sharkbot just because I think we need more Protoss bots.
Hear, hear. More Protoss. Boy, you just angered a good third of our fans, probably. I love Protoss. I've been a Protoss player my whole life. Ever since StarCraft 1, Protoss has always just resonated with me. I mean, it's the advanced, superior race. Why would you not like it? What about the Colossus? Oh, wait, was that a real Colossus?
It was actually a real Colossus being microed, yeah.
It was a hallucination, and I didn't even register.
You can pick up hallucinations in a prism. I don't think you can. Maybe
I've never thought of that.
A good question.
I don't think you can either. I feel like this has come up before. It's one of those really weird outline scenarios that you just never see because no one thinks, oh, I'm going to harass with hallucinations and a warp. You just don't do that. I don't think you can, but it might be something we need to check or something.
We haven't got there yet.
We haven't got there yet. I do love that we're starting to see hallucinations in this bot play. We've started to see force fields a little bit more. The Sentry has been one of those underutilized units for a while because of its complexity, I think. It is a little bit trickier to figure out. We'll talk about why in just a minute, but we are ready with game number 2 already for you guys. Let's hop right into it.
Shark Nices.
Sharkbot.
Patoshes.
Kaninana. Oh, look at that. I've got a message box. All right, cool. We are here on Royal Blood for game number 2. Oh, man, I got some things to catch up on my little message. I didn't even know that this message log existed in our video call here. So you can't see the laser beams. I don't know what that even means. In what scenario were we talking about?
Yeah, no info in API on which unit is attacking which unit.
Oh, from the Colossus. Oh, you can't see. Oh, yeah. So the laser beam, that's not because it's not a unit. It's not a tangible thing, I guess.
Well, yeah. If there's no information on the unit, on like which unit is attacking which unit in the API, and since a hallucination doesn't deal damage, then I guess there's no way to sort of calculate that on your own. As far as which unit's attacking.
It's can the bot then not register that it's being hit by a hallucination beam?
I'm guessing the only way to tell would be when one of your units attacks a unit. You could count the HP and the damage done, because hallucinations take double damage.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, that would probably be the only way then.
Huh. So the bot just doesn't register if it's being attacked by a hallucination, other than what it sees. Like it sees, oh, here's a stalker here, so there's a stalker, but it doesn't register that it's getting hit, but essentially.
Since they can't tell which unit's attacking, it can't tell which is a hallucination. I suppose that's my takeaway from it.
Something like that. Interesting. All right. So yeah, and that's what's so interesting to me about these bots is just the little complexities, the little details that you just never think about when you're playing a normal game of StarCraft, because you're going through the motions, you're doing this build, you're doing that, countering this and that. These little interactions are what's so fascinating to me about StarCraft. A good example is the speed mining, the bunker mining. I'm sure you've seen Micro Machines bunker mining.
Yes,
gas bunker mining. I never in my life would I have thought of doing something like that, because as a human you just can't. It's just not feasible. But as a bot, it's like, wow, this game actually supports this kind of interaction. It's just really interesting to see the evolution of that. Anyway, we've got a Zealot guarding the proxy Stargate this time. That's a really good thing he has that, because the Zerglings would have cleaned this up otherwise. So that is a really nice addition to make sure that he has his Zealot. And he's keeping it mostly with the proxy, it seems. It really does seem like they have a tether range where they don't want to get too far away from it.
Yeah, this is a big aggressive move by SharkBot, not too unsimilar from what we saw against Ketrock's bot. I believe it was Ketrock's bot. Yeah,
it was the Voids against Ketrock. Yeah, the random game. Well, we'll see how it plays out in this one now. There is a lot of dead space right here. Oh, the Zealots, you got to get out of there. Get back to the shield battery. Okay, they're good. Yeah, I love this little dead space area. It's really going to make it hard for Kaninana to deal with the Void Rays properly, I think.
SharkBot saying, enjoy the laser show, Kaninana. And that's very true. These Lings, they aren't really going to be able to break that down with a Void Ray sitting on top of them. They just don't deal enough damage there. And as the second Void Ray gets out, this is going to become more and more problematic.
So what's going on with these Zerglings? A few of them were attacking. Maybe it's just because they were within range of the buildings, but they were like, yeah, let's attack and kind of run attack. And then this group is coming in out of the Voids of moved away. But they were really tentative about moving in and attacking.
The batteries are healing the batteries, however. That's very notable. One of those Void Rays is sitting in range of the Queens, which is quite problematic when they just need to be clearing up these Zerglings. So it looks like because of that, they will actually be cleaned up. One of the Void Rays dies, the Stargate dies. That's the end of the rush.
That is it. Yeah, way too many Zerglings. So it's actually really good that the Zerglings held back and grouped up a little bit like that. And yeah, that was just wasted shield battery energy. The Void Rays just sitting in the Queen range, attacking the Zerglings. That was unfortunate for SharkBot for sure.
Yeah, very unfortunate. It looks like SharkBot is kind of bugging out a little bit just in the fact that it hasn't abandoned the attack, unless I'm mistaken. It was trying to start up a pylon again at that proxy location, probably because the Void Ray was still alive, so it still thought the rush was going on. But yeah, that has been dealt with. Fortunately, there is that second and third base already up for SharkBot.
Yeah, that is vastly different from last game. So I think that has to do with the success of the proxy. Last game, the proxy was somewhat successful in the sense that it got started, right? And there was a handful of void last game you did void rays too, right?
No, it was the stalkers and.
Oh my god, my brain is so dumb. I'm thinking of the other series where he proxied void rays. You mentioned it and it got stuck in my head. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong one. Anyway, in that game, it didn't work because the follow-up was just way too slow. Anyway, in this case, the follow-up is a lot faster, was my point. And that is still true. He has 3 bases to fall back upon now, and something could absolutely happen for Sharkbot here to...
yeah, 3 base to 3 base, which is actually pretty darn good for the Protoss.
Yeah.
And, yeah, great economic position. The concern is the Zerglings for Kananana, as there's still quite a few of those alive, if I'm not mistaken, so it could be attacking, however, it's not. Otherwise, I mean, Kananana probably would just, or Sharkbot probably would just be dead.
Oh, yeah. If we had a big enough swell of Zerglings at this exact moment, Sharkbot's 100% dead. 15 army supply to 37. 38 Zerglings. Yeah, I do think that's actually enough Zerglings that this could just push in and potentially kill Sharkbot. But Kaninana's going to play a little bit safer. Again, one of the updates was a more defensive build, and that can be one of the drawbacks sometimes. Yeah, you're safer because you're being defensive, but sometimes you're giving your opponent a chance to come back into the game when you could just push across and crush them.
Yeah, it's just that challenge, too, of trying to program lethality, like...
That's hard. It's hard to figure that out as a bot author, for sure.
And
when
so
do you commit?
Sharkbot
When do you attack?
Going to build up here. It's been given a lot of grace by Kananana, and that's going to allow a potential follow-up. It's getting up a Templar Archives. Blink is on the way. And so it's probably just building up into a big ground attack, if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. That seems like it would be a good maneuver as well, especially with the creep slowly pushing across. There's a lot of queens out, so I think their intent is to really start pushing that creep over to Sharkbot's side of the base. And I feel like once the creep starts hitting Sharkbot's territory, that's when we're really going to see the pressure start to get piled on here. I don't know, it's moving a little slower than I would like. With that many queens out, I feel like this creep could be moving a little bit quicker. For sure. Oh, yeah, look at all the energy on those queens. Yeah, this creep could absolutely be moving a little bit quicker. I'm trying to think. We've got a couple bots that are just ungodly good at spreading creep. Eris is really good, obviously. I feel like Kaninana's usually one of those bots that's really good at spreading the creep as well.
Yeah,
maybe just this game having a little bit of trouble. Yeah, I feel like Kaninana's always really good at that. Anyway, maybe I'm just nitpicking. It looks good. There's a good, healthy creep spread. There's a healthy amount of queens to be able to deal with any kind of air harass. So the oracles, the phoenix, they're not going to do anything, right? Yeah, I like the High Templars. That's a nice mix in.
Yeah, and Psystorm was researched.
Well, especially, I'm just thinking against the queens. The feedbacks, if he can get just a mass feedback wave across all those queens, that's going to be Sharkbot's best bet to push that army back. Because how many queens are we at now? 12? Let's look at a unit. Give me a unit count. There's more being produced. 10 with an 11th on the way. So, feedback, I think, is going to play a very crucial role in this big engagement. We'll see. That's my prediction. What does he see? Sharkbot keeps saying that. I see that. What do you see, Sharkbot?
I'm guessing the base.
Oh, maybe he does that every time he casts a revelation? Is that what he's doing?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because there's the revelation. Okay. Oh, nice! Oh. Big storms didn't kill everything, but the Zerglings
there's a second one.
That was some big storms. That's a good start for Sharkbot to be able to push this back. I don't know what Kaninana was thinking there, pushing up the ramp into storms like that. It's just not going to work. Roaches are now taking some big storms.
Yeah, they've been revealed too, so the burrow's not going to do them too well. Stalkers are microing very, very well. Notably, Sharkbot did dump a bunch of hallucinated Archons, so Kaninana is assuming that those are out there too.
So I'm curious, as these stalkers and roaches kite and fight back and forth here on the edge of creep. I'm curious, do the stalkers prioritize? I'm assuming they prioritize fighting roaches over burrowed running away roaches. Right?
Probably, yeah.
So in that sense, the burrow is really good because it allows the roaches to pull back while their fellow roaches fight and stuff.
Yeah, the burrow is so good, particularly up against the Psystorm. These roaches can just retreat and heal up like they were never stormed in the first place.
Oh yeah, the regeneration does outweather the storm, doesn't it?
Well, not
For the most part.
not outright, but they heal up
Not
pretty
outright.
darn quickly.
Okay. Good. Ooh, Roach is trying to burrow and escape through the Protoss little defensive position here. Is going to cost him a few roaches, but there is a lot of army supply here for Kaninana. I'm not worried at all. Kaninana can do this all day long. Creep is pretty much at the edge of Sharkbot's base. So
The
I don't
trades
even
are
know.
really good here for Kananana. There is a Tempest out, so I mean that can shoot forever, but Hydras are out now as well.
Yeah, that Hydra switch might be just enough to break Sharkbot's back.
Yep, Corruptors are starting to pop out. Great Psystorms keep going down again and again, but it's still just mass roach. I'd be interested in seeing the resources lost at this point in the game.
Oh, I'm sure they'll pull it up for you. This is incredible. We're getting into just jumping into the late game scenario really, really quickly. We've got Greater Spire now on the way with carriers in production, +3 on the way. We've got pathogen glands, all the goodies for the Zerg. But we might not get to that point as Sharkbot's really going to have a hard time holding this final big push here.
Yeah, we might not.
Roach Hydra Force.
The one Tempest in the sky can only shoot so quickly. Another Psystorm goes down. They've really been good this game, but there's been no follow-up to them. That's the problem.
You know what would be cool? You know how you can overcharge the shield battery? What if you could overcharge a Tempest so it shot faster?
Don't give... Well, I mean, no one's updating this game anymore,
right.
so you can put forward all those ideas you want, but...
That'd be kind of cool. Well, you could do that with any unit. You could, like, single charge any single unit, and it just shoots faster.
That would be interesting, except we all know it would just be used for horrendous cheeses.
Oh, God, yeah. No, it'd be so incredibly broken. God, no. Don't actually.
It'd be a callback to the battery or to the pylon overcharges we used to have.
Okay, Sharkbot's holding on here.
Yeah, it is, and it's actually going up in supply. Like, it was down at 130 for quite a while. It's just at about 150 now.
Yeah.
Carriers, or a carrier, is out.
Holding that base was huge. If that base went down, I feel like this is just 100% over. But the fact that base is still up and mining, and Sharkbot's able to kind of push onto the creep here. I don't know. That's actually really bad, though, pushing onto the creep. So many units are going down. It was looking so good.
It seemed it gained the momentum, and then it's like, okay, now I can step out, and then it just loses on creep.
Yeah, false sense of security there. It's like, I got this. Yeah, I'll attack now, and then, yeah, you just get on creep and you're dead. Oh. I don't know. I think Kaninana's got it. I think we're going to see Kaninana move on to the round of 8. The carrier is really nice. The Tempest is great. But there needs to be more of them. There needs to be
this could go on a while, though, as these bots are just trading out what seems like endlessly. Sharkbot's about to have 3/3 upgrades as well, so its units will deal more damage and survive a little longer. Eventually, Sharkbot will run out of bases, however, so it won't be able to replace these lost units.
Yeah, and that's sometimes what this just comes down to. Even though Sharkbot is taking the best engagements he could, and he's really holding back this wave of Zerg really well. It just comes down to a war of attrition, and in that scenario, money is the deciding factor. Oh, he knurls the carrier.
And the Tempest, too.
Oh.
Okay, that may be it, as those critical units go down.
Those were the only two things keeping him alive, I think. Those were the main anchor for sure. This was a good series. Really fun to watch these two duke it out. A hell of a scrappy match. But Kaninana is just looking really strong, has great economy, works up really slowly and steadily to just that unbeatable... I don't even know what to call it. It's that moment where Zerg can just throw wave after wave after wave, and it doesn't matter how much dies, because that's just how Zerg works. They're just going to keep throwing units at you until you die.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching Sharkbot because it does sort of make a big mix of units. Like we saw High Templar, Phoenix,
Oh yeah.
Void Rays, Carriers, but unfortunately it just lost over. Really fun to watch this bot play.
Yeah, he's one of the better bots at just all the different things that he can use. You can even see the Warp Prism here trying to do some micro to save like workers and things like that. Sharkbot just has a really wide range of things that it can do. It's one of the, I believe it's actually the first bot to be successful with oracles as well.
Oh, okay.
We still don't see much oracle success, but Sharkbot has definitely done a couple of things with oracles. Not much to write home about, but a couple things. All right, well, this is the final throws. No ace match in this series. Connie and Anna's just going to move straight on to the round of 8. And Sharkbot will move down to face... Oh, geez, who does he face? Where'd my bracket go? I lost my bracket. Oh, it's gone. Where the heck did my bracket? There it is. Dovahkiin. So it will be Sharkbot versus Dovahkiin next week for our elimination match there. So things are shaping up nicely. Have you seen Dovahkiin play as well?
I think I've cast it in the past.
It's a newer bot.
It's been a while. If I have, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I did.
All right.
Maybe.
Well, it should be a fun match. Anyway, we have got one more best of 3 tonight for you all. We are not done yet. That was a great series out of those two. And we have now got 3 bots secured into our round of 8, which will be taking place in 2 weeks' time. And don't forget, we'll be opening up our fantasy bracket for the round of 8 at that time. So make sure you join our Discord. Just come hang out. We'll have links for it in the chat, I'm sure. Get your votes in and let us know who you think's going to win. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Eventually, we'll give out a prize if somebody actually wins it. For the most part, we all just do really horribly in the prediction brackets, though. I do anyway. I do really bad. All right, we've got our final match coming up. Are you ready? I know you've seen Micro Machine play.
Oh yeah.
We have got Micro Machine versus a brand new bot, Osavi bot. Will be going up against him now. Micro Machine got the group of new bots. He defeated Octopus in week 1, 2-0. There's also Zozo, who is a new bot, I believe by a previous bot author. Am I tripping on that one? Anyway, here's some replays from our lovely last series. Yeah, or no, Sam Ogun. No, he's a new bot. So yeah, Micro Machine basically got the group with all the new bots, which sucks for them, but it definitely gives them a good challenge and hopefully teaches them a lot, because Micro Machine doesn't do anything super cheesy or anything that out of the ordinary. He's just a solid bot.
It's the staple bot, right?
He is the staple bot, pretty much. He has been around since the beginning of ProBots, has always been in the top 4, typically. I'm trying to think. I don't think there has been a top... No, there's been a couple. There have been a couple times Micro Machine didn't make the top 4. But he has just been the bot to beat for a long time. There he is. He is venturing into the water once again. He found a trident on his last aquatic adventure, apparently.
And there's a shark bot in the background.
Oh, is that Mecha Shark coming for him? Sharkbot, is that you? All right. But yeah, you can see the ELO there. Micro Machine, I think he's like number 4th on the ladder currently. He's had some of the most top 4 finishes in ProBots history. He's just the bot to beat. He's really fun to watch, has a lot of really good games. He's a really good comeback bot as well. When you get Micro Machine on his back foot and you've really been putting him on the ropes, you're not done. You still have to work really hard to beat him. He's one of the best bots at comebacks I think I've ever seen. So we'll see what Osavi bot here can do. Oh, I missed the yellow. I wasn't paying close enough attention. But that was Osavi bot. You saw the stats. Hopefully you were all reading it. But we'll check out what he can do against Micro Machine in his second series here on ProBots. He had his debut a couple weeks ago, or last week actually was his debut. Or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. Something like that. Anyway, hopefully you are all having a good time. Let's go ahead and hop into our final best of 3 of the night. Micro Machine versus Osavi bot. Let's go.
Raf RR and Unusuals.
Micro Machine.
Osavis.
Osavi bot. No, it should be. Wait, did I say it wrong? Ketrock versus. No, it'll be Ketrock versus Dominion Dog in Group B, and then Shark Bot versus Dovahkiin in Groups. That's what my bracket says, anyway. So, alrighty, we are here. Our final series of the night. Can you pull up Micro Machines chat real quick? I wanted to see that really easy to remember name that he called Osavi Bot. What was it? Oh yeah, that really classic name.
A nice UUID there.
99585. Yeah, we're not even going to say that. So this is their first time meeting, apparently. This is their first encounter. So Micro Machines probably just going to do something pretty standard, I feel like. Just going to do what Micro Machine does, which, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say something. Sometimes he does bio, sometimes he does Banshee play, sometimes he always gets a Reaper. I think that's typically how Micro Machine starts out, right?
Is Micro Machine still receiving updates?
Not technically. I think every now and then, if they notice a little something, they'll go in and tweak it, but definitely no major updates. There have been no like big build order updates as far as I know, or things like that. Just little, if they notice a bug, they might go in and fix it. But for the most part, Micro Machine's just doing Micro Machine. You know, he's set. He's just doing his thing. Knows what he's doing. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think Micro Machine's the favorite to win here, but we'll definitely see. Maybe OsaviBot has a specific strategy planned, a cheese in mind, because he did know he was going up against Micro Machine. Oh, trying to place two buildings in the same place. That's nice. Ooh, there we go. He fixes it. Quick fix. Nice recovery.
Good. It's not just over there.
Yep. That's very good. This is good. Robo Bay. I like a one base Robo play. I think there's definitely a lot of options there for putting on some early pressure. Even just to safely get into a Nexus is a really good option. Just that 2-base Robo is a good solid play.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll potentially see a Prism, maybe micro some Stalkers, that kind of thing.
Ooh, that'd be nice. That's one that we saw the coolest Stalker Warp Prism micro like a season or two ago. I think it might have been Sharkbot. Maybe it was someone else. Anyway, it was like 2 different separate warp prisms, or 3. I think it got up to like 3 warp prisms. Each one had a contingent of 4 stalkers, and they were just doing like this awesome warp prism, like up and down, just in multiple different places. And then we never saw anything that cool again. Like we've seen cool warp prism, but nothing of that scale. I want to see just like 10 warp prisms, each loaded up with stalkers with blink, just doing the dirtiest micro that they can do and just picking apart their opponent. I think there's a lot of potential with Warp Prism play still. But again, it's one of those, I think it's one of those trickier things, right? To figure out when to pick up, when to drop, where to drop. You know, you don't want to drop into the middle of tank fire, things like that. I definitely some room for evolution there, I think.
Okay, we do have that Warp Gate research finished for OsaviBot. We've got a second Immortal on the way. If I was a betting man, I'd say that there was an attack coming pretty soon.
I think I'd take that bet. Well, let's see. I'm curious to see if he is going to build that Warp Prism too, because that is a build, two Immortals and then a Warp Prism.
I really hope so.
I'm really hoping too, even
nicely.
Just to reinforce. Yeah, it really holds everything together. It is kind of that glue that you need to keep your Immortals alive so you can pick them up out of a hot spot to reinforce your army, just all the things. Okay, so no, he's just going to push out. It's going to be an Observer. He might not even push out, though. He might.
Okay, it's bringing a probe, so it might just do a pylon.
Oh, is he? Okay, yeah, he's just going to do a proxy pylon then. Okay. What the heck was that guy doing?
That's one use for a mule.
Maybe he wasn't gonna get like the last trip, or it was
I guess not. Scenario. But it made it pretty far for a mule that wasn't able to make the last trip.
Maybe he had a vision and had to go on a vision quest and had to find his ancestors or something. All right, you were right. You were damn right. Here comes the attack.
Okay.
And we'll see who micros better.
There's that tank on the high ground. That's worth its weight in gold. The Stalkers will be shredded by it. However, the 2 Immortals are doing what they can. The Marines are starting to wear thin.
Well, that Reaper in the back just pulled half of the army away. That second Immortal really would have come in clutch here. It might have just saved his life because. Actually, yeah, I don't know how to feel about that now. Did that Reaper help the Protoss or hurt the Protoss?
I think it hurt the Protoss because it needs to win the game with this.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is a one-base push. Yeah, you're totally right. I was thinking like, oh, it pulled them away so they stayed alive and didn't fight in the tank fire, but...
Couple of Zealots, they do pretty darn good against tanks and Marines, so this tank's going to be targeted down by the Immortal. The Zealots are engaging the SCVs. We'll see how much friendly fire or if that tank's able to be picked off.
That Immortal's dead, and that's it. I was about to say that Reaper did totally help the army if that Immortal had been able to clear everything up, but I was wrong. That was a pretty close fight, though.
It was,
a
yeah.
Scrappy.
Great defense by Micro Machine. It was even pulling the SCVs when it really needed to. We're gonna see a follow-up by a Savi bot, probably just more of the same if I had to take a guess, but I think Micro Machine should be in a pretty good spot here.
Oh yeah, he's looking good. Oh, okay, so actually the author of Micro Machine's in our chat now. Apparently he hasn't even touched Micro Machine in about a year. So not even little updates. So this is just Micro Machine looking good. He doesn't need updates.
That's a bit of a flex.
Right? Yeah, that is a huge flex. Hasn't been updated for a year, still crushing it in ProBots. All right, yeah, I think this is ultimately going to go to Micro Machine. Just because there's no fallback. Maybe if OsaviBot had been getting a second base behind this or something, it could have kept going on here for a little bit longer, but yeah, just a one base play that fails isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, unfortunately not, but we see that the best bots can stand up to this sort of aggression.
Oh yeah, well, this is not Micro Machine's first one base attack that he's had to hold. That is for certain. It was check out that perfect force field. A little bit of a moral victory, I guess.
That's so weird.
Flex.
That it's got that programmed into it to be like, yes, I'm a 4-gate bot, but I got a defensive force field in my sleeve.
Well, I was just talking about that earlier, I think, where we haven't seen the Sentry utilized a whole ton. This is the first season where we've actually seen force fields utilized on ramps like that and stuff like that. So it's really cool that OsaviBot has already kind of started focusing on that aspect and started planning for that kind of thing. Because there are a lot of scenarios where a force field on your ramp is going to save the day. So,
unfortunately, nothing's going to save the day for a OsaviBot at this point. That game is the Banshees reign supreme.
Unless Micro Machine crashed.
There
is a 0.04% chance that Micro Machine crashes in the next 30 seconds. No, it's not. It was a good little game, though. A nice, mostly well-executed one-base attack out of Osavi. But, yeah, I think you're right. I think that Reaper did ultimately hurt the army more than helped it because it did need to push and win with that initial push, pretty much. It had to break through the tank lines, had to get something done. And it just wasn't able to get that done. So,
yeah, even then, it still had to be able to completely go all through the main. Micro Machine had a lot of SCVs to pull still. It was a pretty, a bit scary, but nothing Micro Machine couldn't handle.
Oh, yeah. No, he's dealt with that scenario more times than we could count, probably. So, well done. That was a fun little match, though. We'll see if OsaviBot can maybe pull something out in game number 2, or if Micro Machine's
maybe it's
going to look too strong.
Bit of a different strategy or something.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't even... Yeah, I got to read the notes on OsaviBot. I haven't pulled it up here. Again, OsaviBot, I'm assuming, has been updated. Actually, we don't have any notes whatsoever on OsaviBot, so I don't know. I don't know if it got updated. I don't know what it does, other than it's
just a mystery.
Okay. It's a mystery bot. I love a good mystery. Let's see what happens in game number 2 here. Let's go.
RAF RR and Unusuals.
Micro Machine.
Osavis.
OsaviBot. Was that it? Oh, I thought we only did one intro. I was looking away. All right, we are here for what could be our final game of the night. Laughing Games. Have you had fun so far?
Oh, it's been a blast.
Excellent.
Getting to see and just basically kick back and watch these games. It's been awesome.
It's fun. It really is fun just to watch these bots go at it. I have been enjoying this so much more than normal StarCraft these days. It's been fun. Because do you ever watch, there's the 24/7 AI Arena stream, if you didn't know.
I've definitely heard of it. I don't have as much time to watch StarCraft as I'd like. But the fact that we have a 24/7 AI stream is really cool.
I'm really surprised it doesn't get more views than it does. Obviously, when they do an event, it gets a lot of views. Just in their last tournament, they actually had killer viewership, which was really cool. But yeah, if you ever just want to watch these a lot of these bots that you're seeing here tonight and just in ProBots, they're all on that ladder, and you'll see a lot of them fighting it out on the AI Arena stream. I believe it's just AI Arena on Twitch, right? Or no, it's SC2. Oh geez, what is it? AI, yeah, it's AI Arena Stream. There you go, AI Arena Stream. Go check that out on YouTube or on I'm sorry, on Twitch. We're on YouTube. That is our new platform. But no, it's fun. You can just watch a lot of games there. We just again got our micro ladder that we started over at AIarena.net, and some of those games are popping up. It's just a quick little skirmish with a small handful of units, so it's fun just to watch quick little matches. You know, popping off like that. So. Yeah, check it out. Good time. I've been watching a lot of that these days. It's just fun to watch these bots go at it. All right, Micro Machine doing his normal thing. Savi bot looking like it's just going to do that. Yeah, that one base robo play once again. Now, it does come down a lot to map positioning. Do you think this map favors a one base robo play at all? Or is it just going to fall flat on its face?
I mean, I don't know, to be honest. Micro Machine's going for the one base. This map is one that it can do its bunker mining, so it'll have a little bit extra resources.
Yeah, go back to that bunker mining. I was talking about that earlier. It's just cool. In case nobody has seen this, or in case any of you haven't seen it, I know a lot of us have. But this is Micro Machine's signature gas mining. So there are 2 workers for gas, essentially. So you're saving 2 workers, one on each gas that you could send to another base to mine minerals or build some structures with, whatever. Basically, you're just getting the same amount of gas pretty much, but with less workers. And it's just really cool. Again, it's one of those things that you gotta program a lot of APM into, but it works out. Oh, get out of here, Reaper. It's not often a bot kills a Micro Machine Reaper, but it does happen. Oh, he gets it.
Rip.
That's a good sign. That that does always feel like a turning point. I know it's silly to think the first Reaper is a turning point, but if Micro Machine doesn't lose that first Reaper, it just feels like he's running circles around you the whole game. If he does lose that Reaper, sometimes you feel like, wow, I'm a big shot. I killed Micro Machine's Reaper, and maybe something can happen because now you don't have to worry about that harass as much. You can focus a little bit more on, what you're doing. So I don't know. It's more of a moral victory than anything, obviously, but it's a good moral victory.
It's a moral victory of bots and morals.
Yes. Who's to say they don't, and they just haven't told us yet. See, that's if the bots do gain sentience and take over, they're smart enough not to let us know that they've gained sentience.
It's true.
Just like isn't that Terminator? Isn't that how that went down pretty much? I think that was the whole Skynet thing. Was it gained sentience and we didn't realize or something? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, that's how it's gonna go down.
It's happened a few times. Micro Machine does scout the attack coming. It's got a Cyclone on the way. I'm curious, does Micro Machine use its gas mining bunkers for defensive need be? Or does it just ignore them?
Like, does it just camp in the bunker?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it just kind of keeps mining. I don't know. We'll find out here if this army gets over into the natural. There is a proxy pylon, so reinforcements will be close at hand. That's really helpful.
Here we go. Is there a tank on the high ground?
Even if there is, it's a little bit further away this time, so I think...
Okay, there is.
Boom, big shot. Wow, look at that positioning. Never mind, it's not out of the way at all. That is the beautiful spot. Nice Guardian Shield is going to buy a little bit of extra time, but I think...
Good SCV pull. The Immortals are being targeted down. 1 to go.
That's it.
And that looks like it's it.
That's all, folks. Micro Machine has held again. The one base push. This was a little bit of a harder position. I thought there was a little bit more space between that tank and the where the army was pushing in, but the way that top area kind of comes down a little bit further, you just shoved that tank right as far as you could into that corner.
Yeah, that was a beautiful defense by Micro Machine.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. It was perfect. And that's, you know, that's typically what we're going to expect against Micro Machine, especially against a new bot. So hopefully, I really hope author of Wasabi Bot here isn't taking any of this too much to heart. You know, obviously learn from it and figure out what to do better next time. But Micro Machine is just, he's so hard to beat. He's so good. All right. Well, I hate to call it early, but unless there's another base coming up anytime soon, I think Micro Machine's gonna
unless Micro Machine massively overextends and then gets counterattacked. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
it's always a possibility. But yeah, not really with Micro Machine. He's well, you see right here, he's just using a couple units to poke. He's just like, all right, I'll play it safe. I'll just keep the pressure on. I'm not gonna commit too heavily to anything. Not gonna push up this ramp too heavily. But hey, great start out of Wasabi Bot. You're not out of it just yet. We will see, you know, assuming this does go in Micro Machine's favor, which I can't see a scenario where it doesn't. Oh, nice tank kill. That was good. I'll take it.
There's the force field.
There's the clutch force field keeps the army back. Doesn't keep the high ground vision at bay though, because there's the medevac. So
that tank is just massacring everything.
Oh, the tank. Yeah, that's it. But no, great little series out of these two. It's fun to watch these new bots go up against some of these titans sometimes.
Yeah, Micro Machine is the basically test bot. If you want to play your bot against a very standard bot, if you're developing one, Micro Machine's a good one to go with because it just plays so standard for the most part.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's a great bot to learn from. Even that way, and even if you're trying to do a Terran bot, just kind of watch and learn what Micro Machine's doing. Because he just does a lot of things right. So.
GG.
G to the G. And so next week we're going to have Wasabi Bot getting knocked down to face Octopus, one of our other new bots. And that is our groups, Laughing Games. That is all 4 groups that you have now seen, A, B, C, and D. And we have got our first 4 bots in the round of 8. Do we have our round of 8 bracket started to being filled out yet? Do we?
Congratulations to those bot authors.
Yes.
Incredible programming by everyone. The games were all very fun to watch. That is one of the bigger developments I'll say about the botting games. Like some games in the past, it's like you'd kind of just be waiting for a bot to expire sort of thing. There's not a lot of that anymore. These bots are all so well-rounded for the most part.
Well, you do still see that occasionally on the stream I was mentioning, the AI Arena stream. Occasionally, you'll see a game where it does just get into that stalemate or that moment where like this bot's just sitting at home, building up, even though he could just go in. So there's a little bit of that occasionally, but yeah, here the bots are just very well rounded. Here, you're right. Some of them even have GG scenarios programmed in.
Oh yeah.
If they lose their last base or something, they'll just GG out and quit the game.
Yeah, it is interesting that some authors do elect to do that.
It's risky. I think
risky,
more don't do it because it's risky.
Yeah, and there's really no reward for doing it other than, I guess, being a good sport. But you're being a good sport to an AI, so...
Yeah, you got to be a good sport. Always be a good sport. Can you go back? One of those replays, that Immortal just did a really cool skip, like, off the ramp. Is it possible to see that one more time? Nope. All right. Well, it was fun. You can all rewind if you want to see it again. I thought it looked cool. The Immortal did like a little bunny hop off the ramp. It was kind of fun. All right. That's it. That was our games tonight, everybody. We have got our round of 8 started off. Who do we have in there? So we have now got Eris. We have got Xena. We have got Kaninana. And we have now got Micro Machine. All secured for the round of 8. And then next week, make sure you all join us. Week 5, we have got more eliminations. 4 more bots getting tossed into the scrap pile. Are you going to watch the brutality next week and watch?
Oh yeah, I'll be keeping an eye out.
Oh, there it is. Epic air. Look at that air he got. That was awesome. Anyway, thank you for that. Thank you all for being here and joining us. Thank you, Laughing Games, for coming and casting these with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a great setup you guys have on ProBots. And,
where can people find you? What's your YouTube channel?
You guys can find me at Laugh in Games. I believe it's linked in the description down below.
Awesome.
I'm always posting bot replays, so you can check those out. Everyone seems to really enjoy those. I try and do a couple videos here and there.
I was gonna just on that note. There's actually we created an interesting replays Discord chat room in the bot author Discord. Go check it out. You can post some replays for this guy right here to cast.
Yes.
So you bot authors, get your replays in there for him.
Odds are I will cast them if you post your bot replays there. As
awesome.
Yeah. I'm always happy to check those new bots and old bots out.
Oh yeah. So go check them out. If you just can't get enough bot content, you got more right there. We do have more bot content tomorrow night. Do not forget Host Bots. If you are one of our Crown Club members, you can join our club down below. Help support ProBots. ProBotsAI.com. You get access to PostBots, various other little benefits. You get the artwork that you see at the beginning of each stream. You get access to that. So yeah, definitely go check it out if you want to get a little extra content. Yeah, tomorrow night we are having a discussion about AI and AI casting. So definitely come check it out. It should be a lot of fun. And I think that's pretty much it. I think I covered it all. Let me just look real quick. Thank you all for being here. We couldn't do this without you, the authors, you, the audience, and our production crew as well in the background doing an awesome job. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for being here, and hopefully you'll join our growing community. And we'll see you all next week for day 5 of ProBots here on our YouTube channel. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.
Bye-bye.